Execration, they go for the Razor for Palos, which again makes me feel like I imagine it's a carry Razor. That's why it's for Palos. Would be pretty good against that Magnus in the safe lane. You just stack Link him, run after him. Snapfire will have to use some sort of ability that has that can move people, some sort of force movement ability to get him a bit of distance from the Razor. But it's usually not enough. Like it won't be enough to break the Link. A Morphling comes out by SMG. That's going to be mid-one's hero. Not gonna... I like this Morphling pick. I'm looking at the damage coming out from Execration, and it's not enough to burst down Morphling, you know? Like, these are very much, we're going to go for a long team fight kind of heroes. Razor and Death Prophet. So, I like this Morphling pick quite a lot by SMG.
And so do you think that this is definitely going to be the carry Razor then, and not like a mid lane Razor, do you think?
It could be if SMG goes for like a mid, Dragon Knight, then you're like, oh, well, I just put Razor mid or one of the spirits. But I doubt it. I do feel like Execration is just going to put this Razor in the safe lane, Death Prophet. Maybe Death Prophet could go mid, but I doubt that as well. It just feels like it's like we have everything except the mid lane for both teams. And for SMG, if you can get something elusive, you are pretty much golden. Like what the control coming out from Execration is what Nyx Assassin stun into Death Prophet silence. Like if you are, I'm glad they banned Ember Spirit, but you can still have the Void Spirit, the Storm Spirit. Quap is also pretty good, although late game scaling is a bit suspect, but still decent. Like you get the great team fight. Bane, Snap, Magnus, Quap is insane. I like Kunkka. Yeah, Tidebringer will be a bit annoying. Sometimes you Tidebringer, Spike Carapace. Unfortunate, but still a very solid hero to have for SMG just because of how tanky. And Void Spirit as well as Quap get banned right after I mentioned them.
Yeah, so both teams thinking now this it is going to be mid laners, and obviously SMG can react. So, I do still like.
Fun.
Do you want something with a little bit more control coming out here for Execration? Because you've got to worry about the Snapfire, Mortimer Kisses, obviously the Magnus jump in, Bane with a Fiend's Grip. Do you want something maybe with a bit of a stun here for Execration if you're going for a mid laner?
I mean, I'd be surprised if both teams ignore Kunkka. I just feel like Kunkka is really good for either team.
Yeah.
If you are Execration, you don't want something too elusive. You want something that can be a bit frontline because SFG's got control. They got the Bane, the Magnus, even the Cookie. Like they can definitely have it. They have an easier time catching people. So for Execration, I prefer the Kunkka for both in terms.
Mid push.
Pudge definitely. Like Pudge would be good. It's mid Pudge, but I would say go for it for either team. Honestly, they go with the PL, so it is going to be the mid Razor, very likely, unless they put Moon on this Phantom Lancer mid. So good call, Rob. In the meantime, though, SMG now again, I feel like the Tidebringer. The Kunkka or the Pudge even more. You're up against PL.
Yeah.
You want to get that AoE damage. You get Tidebringer. You got Rot. Both of these pretty solid. We'll see what they decide to go for, though. Pangolier. Okay. Decent amount of control here.
It gets Moon away from the static link of the Razor quite quickly with the Swashbuckle as well.
Yeah.
Decent amount of play. If you go for, do you think he goes for a Maelstrom build here on the Pangolier? So the Swashbuckle, you get the procs off, you can clear through Phantom Lancer illusions a little bit quicker.
I mean, I guess so. Definitely helps. By the way, I guess I haven't been following SMG. I guess mid one's playing the off lane and CDR's playing the carry when they bring him in.
Because I think they did that last time as well. The mid one was playing the off. So I was going to ask you, if you know about any heroes that CDR has been picking up, which role he has been playing. But it looks like it is going to be mid one in the off, and then we get Moon in the mid lane, CDR playing that carry, and then Paulus and Rafu both supports.
So they're going to be putting the mid Phantom Master. All right. But for Execration, it's a little bit, it's Tino off lane with Shanks, Bob going to go mid, Palos as well as Abing going to go the bottom lane here. Execrate. I mean, both the teams are playing with a stand-in. I feel like SMG comes out with a bit of a better draft. The only thing that I kind of not sure about is, do they have enough to deal with the Phantom Lancer? That's where I'm like, I'm not so sure that SMG does late game. At the same time, you look at Execration, do they have enough to deal with Morphling? I also don't feel like it. So it is a little bit, this feels like a more even draft compared to the last 2 games where I'm like, oh, I believe this draft is way better, But I'm going to go with the power of the RP and the Snapfire more, because I think that's just going to give SMG all they need for the mid game, and then Morphling's going to go online, probably just crush them. But yeah, so I'm going to go with SMG. Rob, why are you going for Execration?
You know what? I think for once, I'm not going to go for Execration.
No! No, I want off this team. I want to go the other side now.
Yeah, just because the matches we've cast ourselves, Execration, they've looked alright, but they always look like they have a mistake or two in them. I think SMG just have a little bit of a like I say, a better draft, and I just so I'm gonna piggyback. I'm gonna go with the SMG here.
All right. For people who are wondering, what is the standing of the 2 teams? Execration is currently 6-6. Execution 6-6. SMG is 4-2. SMG, they are joining the tournament. They didn't join the tournament late, but their matches are played like the second half. So tomorrow they got 2 matches. Then the day after they got 2 matches. So most of their matches are played in the last, like 4 or 5 days of the tournament. So Execration, they definitely would need to get a couple of draws at least to get in the upper bracket. A win here is just as good as 2 draws. So no team is going to be eliminated, though. We already know that Neon Esports is the eliminated team. There's nothing they can do. But getting upper bracket does give you a little bit of that safety net.
Yeah, and so both teams, like say Execration, this is kind of, it's not do or die for them, but they definitely want to pick up as much of an advantage as possible. Where, like say SMG, they have a little bit of a better standing on that 4-2, so they have a little bit of a life raft, let's call it, that's a bit of a cushion. So yeah, but both teams, they want to be picking up games.
And they've been doing surprisingly well, considering that, unless I'm mistaken, they've never played with their full roster since the start of this tournament. Like, they've never had Ice join them, so it's always been with standard MKS before, CDR since yesterday. So overall, 4-2, not too bad for them.
Yeah, and you can see as well, like, mid one in this off lane, he wants to go straight for this Empower. So he wants to be getting these last hits. He's not too bothered about getting onto Pylo straight away, doing that damage. And Abeng is just going to be harassing Afu back, and Afu. So the brain fog lifts, and we see the cookie. Is that, the cookie at level 2? Is that something you want to go for? Then maybe go for a skewer on the Magnus and just try and force Abeng out of position.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you can get it, like. The one nice thing is that you throw the cookie on the Magnus, you land, you stun, and you're right in position to skewer them back. So I would imagine you would want it. Maybe they'll have to check the lane equilibrium. They're like, okay, we're too far from our tower. We're gonna be fighting this area, but it seems like it's just a good idea to get it if you can. I'm also interested to see if mid one goes for a bit more DPS than usual, like to help him clear out illusions. You already have the Empower, so maybe if you go, the Echo Saber, a little bit of extra damage. And maybe you can use that to sort of clear out illusions yourself later on.
Yeah.
No, they go for Shockwave, by the way. They go Shockwave.
Oh, Shockwave?
They're too close to the tower, right? Like, you're not going to be able to get that skewer off.
Yeah. So is that what he... Okay, Abeng's going to be taking some more harass again at level 1. Has those natured attendants, which he's going to pop. But, yeah, so the build for mid 1 here, does he want to be going all in on the Shockwave? Do you think that to do damage to Pylos where he can, or is it just going to be like an early point? Does he want a Shockwave at some point before he gets the RP and then moving into the fights?
I think you can put 2 points in it, maybe. Probably. I imagine you got max Empower though. Like that seems to be the standard thing when you see a lot of pro players. They're like, let me max out my farming ability, so if anything happens, I have a way to just come back into the game. Moon takes a little bit of damage. Bob is right next to him, but. Man, that Spirit Siphon nerf. Oh, he cancels it. Well, that was interesting.
Where was he?
Felt like a long.
Yeah, where was he TPing to? Because that was a long TP.
Maybe. I mean, I was like, oh, he should have left by now, but he's just standing there. Did he actually teleport to the? Do you think he teleported to the outpost and wanted to walk all the way to the bottom river ruin, and that's why it took so long?
Yeah, maybe. But
we're gonna have to. All right, Twitch chat in a few minutes will tell us. They'll be like, yeah, he was celebrating there. The Twitch chat, they're such full of handsome and lovely people, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Would never troll us by, saying he was going somewhere else, like he was TPing to the diabase. But yeah, no, it must have been because it was a really long TP. That must have been to the outpost there. Like you say, trying to get to the bottom water room. But yeah, Bob had the damage. In fact, one more right click, he was down to about 20 health there. Moon might have secured the kill onto him. So Moon just had to get himself away with the swashbuckle.
He's still doing solidly in the lane. Like Moon was winning that lane until that bit of mistake. I don't know if it's a mistake. He probably expected Bob to leave him. Like you see him teaming like, oh well, I'm not gonna get the kill. I'm just gonna leave. But instead, meanwhile, Abing does lose his life in the top lane. Looks like it was a skewer cookie combo.
Yeah, and so 1-1-1 build coming up from the Magnus, so really nice repositioning onto the Enchantress, and then yeah, being able to get that kill. And meanwhile, Shanks is chasing Paulson up the river. Impale comes out, so he's going to stop him from being able to get that water. No, Paulson still picks it up. Just a second, half a second on that, being able to pick it up, Paulson. He gets a little bit of life left in the chase onto Moon. Crypt Swarm comes out. How's Moon doing? He's out of mana here as well, as Afu goes down. Just denies himself to the tower to get himself on a respawn. Bob.
Oh, yeah. Paulson gets a nice deny.
But, I mean, Bob still gets his health back one way or the other here with a Siphon. 3 points into that Spirit Siphon, and Paulson has to walk himself away.
Yeah, it's turning out way better for Bob than I expected. But he doesn't get the mana, right? So it is still like, it's not too bad. However, Moon's getting a lot of resources. Afu teleports mid to refill his bottle, and he might still die, actually.
The Spirit Siphon's going to be enough, and Bob just drains the life out of him there.
Nerf? What nerf? This hero looks buff to me. But no, it's like, yeah, I did not think that Bob would be able to play this, like, not that he would play this well, but I don't think he would be able to get, like, a kill on Moon. He threatened him in the top lane. It all comes down from that TP to the outpost. Just a little bit too greedy by Moon. Bob has been punishing him ever since.
Yeah, and what's Bob got coming in on the curry now as well? It's just going to be, he's got the Falcon's Blade, so the mana isn't really going to be a problem. He's going to have that extra health as well. The Spirit Siphon for, the regen and Moon. Yeah, he's just pulling their resources. Afu's going to be close, but Abing's rotated down now as well. The net comes out from the little hill troll, but there was no follow-up from that.
In the meantime, it seems like all the cores are farming relatively evenly, Mid one, he's getting a little bit of denies now because he does have that 3 points in power. So, it's just so much extra damage. Easy for him to get those denies, easy for him to get those last hits. And then it just goes up. It's like, oh, I'm just going to send you back to the Nether Realm. By the way, for people wondering, Execration did not change their logo to Little Gun. We are just having a little bit of issues with our overlay. So, it happens. It happens. Execration still using their own logo.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to give Tiny.io a quick restart because it's not working at all. And we got a pause. So that's
there you go.
Perfect timing for that to happen, yeah. The overlay, I don't know. It's decided that it's going to have the day off.
It's just like, nope, I'm gonna ruin your day. What is this, a tournament for BDS? Is this guy's job's on the line? No. Let me troll him all day. Moon, all right, he goes in. Needs to be careful. Shanks is here as well. Stun lands on Pelosin, but they realize 3 people are here. And Moon bringing both supports just so he can stay in this lane against Bob, which means that Abing in the top lane is getting those pulls off. He's able to do what he wants against mid one. Moon's still farming decently, but it's definitely a lot of resources they're having to give to Moon.
Yeah, and you can see Paulson and Shanks just contesting each other as well in the river, but. Back in the top triangle, Afu does have that cookie if he wants to get on top. There's going to be the shield crash coming in now as well. Swashbuckle, Abeng, he pops those Nature's Attendants. Afu does still have the damage to get the kill.
One lane we haven't talked about at all, by the way, is bottom, which has just been the most even lane you can think of. 32-7 to 31-6. Tino's just farming. CDR is just farming. And I think you're kind of... I don't know if it favors one side or another, but since Tino's going to be fighting quite a bit early, and Razor does need this farm on the laning stage, he's pretty happy with this. I think Execration will be like, yeah, Monfling's farming, but our fighter is going to get the gold he needs.
Yeah, meanwhile, behind the tier 1 tower in the mid lane, there's going to be Rolling Thunder coming in through from Moon, but Spike Carapace going to be used. The cookie comes in. Afu actually not going to connect onto one. Exorcism will be popped in now as well. Moon going to get himself away, Swashbuckle. So the Spirit Siphon will be out of range now as well. But Afu's going to be slowed down. The enchant comes out from Abeng. Abeng going to be taking these tower shots. The Impale now as well. Afu, does he go down? He's going to be picked up here by Bob.
Bob absolutely having a stunning game so far. I love the item. Oh, looks like we're going to lose Abeng. So Moon also doing pretty well for himself. And are they going to go for more? Moon is slowed up. The stun misses.
Yeah, Impale isn't going to connect here. And Moon going to be taking damage coming through from the Exorcism. But Bob just forces Moon right back between the 2 towers.
See, this is why I don't like Nyx Assassin. That stun always feels so flimsy to me.
Yeah.
Like, half the time he throws you like, oh, it's so much shorter and doesn't track people for some unknown reason.
I was going to say, yeah, it's the exact same skill as Lion's Earth Spike, but it doesn't track. And for some reason, they say Earth Spike seems to go on for 1,000,000 miles if you point click it onto a hero.
Yeah, but Impale seems a lot lower, a lot less cast range. I don't know what it is. It's actually got 50 cast range just now in the recent patch. Yeah, I swear to God, it seems like it's shorter than ever. It's just maybe the map's bigger or the distance. Oh well, they almost getting bottom CDR on the Morphling. Shanks does land the stud, by the way, just after we flamed him for it, but unfortunately, just wasn't enough damage.
Oh yeah, again,
this might be
not flaming the player, flaming the skill itself.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, well, that's the truth. Like, I just find Nyx Assassin and Enchantress are some of those heroes where I'm like, I don't really feel like you guys are real heroes. You know, I can see you, I can pick you, but I don't. I'm sorry, you just don't feel like a hero to me. Doesn't matter how many times.
Yeah, bug in the game letting you pick up a neutral creep instead.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't matter how many times Puppy crushes a game with Enchants. Every time it comes out, I'm like, no. There's something wrong with this hero. Something ain't right. But anyway, going back to real heroes, I like what Deathprop went with the Falcon Blade, by the way. This item seems to has been getting buff after buff after buff. Now it does 14 damage, is pretty cost effective, and does give Deathprop a lot of what she needs. Mana regen damage, as well as, of course, a buttload of health.
Yeah.
So gonna help her snowball. And yeah, Bob's just doing a really good game, having a really good time this game so far.
2-0-0, he's got the Exorcism back up now as well. Afu going to be slowed down. There's going to be the Mud Golem as well for that, the Boulder Toss as well. Moon just go for the Rolling Thunder, but everyone just bypasses him and says, right, I'll see you later, mate. So he's looking to connect, but yeah, Moon, he has to just roll himself away. And with the second Exorcism here, do you think, Bob, do they want to put pressure onto this tier 1 in the mid lane with this, or are they going to save it for more of a team fight situation?
I mean, I think if you can take the tower, you take the tower, right? I mean, you know there's no rolling rolling thunder. You want to go for it. By the way, mid one went for the mech on the Magnus. He did not go for the sort of Echo Saber, Blink Dagger, or anything like that. He's just like, no, let me get mech just so I can join the team. It's worrisome because they might have damage issues, but it does give them a really strong power spike at this stage of the game.
Yeah, Moon comes over. He gets a really nice Shanks here with the Spike Carapace, and Moon still gets the kill. There's going to be the Nightmare onto the Enchantress. Can he follow up? Abeng trying to run himself away. Doesn't have those Nature's Attendants for the next few seconds here. And it looks like Razor's going to be killed off now as well, but they get the kill onto Abeng. Good chase down here by Moon. Again, the Exorcism doesn't really do a whole lot up against this tier 1. Tier 1 down to about 600 health, but with that second Exorcism, you would have expected him to finish off that tower and just couldn't get the damage there.
Yeah, the two heroes that we say aren't heroes actually died, So yeah, there you go. But yeah, it's a bit weird. They popped the Exo, then for some reason, Shanks as well as the Enchantress kind of went to the side. They weren't stuck together, and that cost them that fight. Meanwhile, though, they're back together. Again, there's no level 6 on these supports. Afu's level 6, so if you get land in RP, you have a Mortimer's Kiss right after, but Shanks is still level 5, almost level 6 at least. But Enchantress, less, like 4.5, is 12 minutes in, and even then the ultimate's not going to give you that much for Enchantress either way.
Yeah, and the Nyx Assassin as well, not hitting that level 6. I mean, you look at it and think, oh, once he gets that level 6, he's going to be able to roam. But the 3 cores for SMG, really big tanky heroes. And then the supports, you look at the Snapfire, going to be able to cook you. He doesn't have a mana burn. So he's not going to be able to stop the Fiend's Grip on the Nightmare coming out here for the Bane. The Afu might just turn around with... Speaking about the Cookie's going to come out, it actually connects, and Bob, he's going to be in a little bit of trouble now as well. Shanks gets solo, pops a Spike Carapace. RP comes out, the Impale's going to be there as well, but the Rolling Thunder comes through. The Mortimer kisses, and Bob should go down. Really nice, good couple of pickups here for SMG.
Yeah, this mech pickup gives them also potential where they can just like, oh, let's just fight. And I think we touched on it, but we're gonna go back to it again. The damage from Execration, firstly, it takes a while to build up. Exorcism as well as Static Link. The supports barely do any damage, and this mech pickup by mid one, it's really good. Like you think about it a little bit more, you're like, wow, this is a really good pickup for them because it helps. Like it makes Execration's worst problem damage even worse. Like, how are you gonna find 300 more damage to deal to people in these team fights?
Look at this as well. Bottom lane, the Nightmare comes out onto the Razor. CDR is going to be here now as well. Tino, he's going to try and pop that Eye of the Storm. The damage coming through onto Paulison. Paulison, is he going to be able to get himself away from this one? The mech keeps him alive for a little bit longer. Abeng could be in trouble now as well. To get the kill onto Tino, Abeng's career goes down, and so does he. Really nice TP there from mid one. TP to the tier 2 tower. He didn't want to give the game away by TP into the outpost. He took that extra little bit of time to walk up from the tier 2. Connects, and they get 2 kills out of that SMG.
What does the graph say? It says it's still 50-50. A little bit surprising despite the advantage for SMG right now. It's less than 1,000, but yeah, the game still believes there's a lot of faith in this PL, and I think that faith is going to be well rewarded. This PL, Palos, he is #1 in terms of net worth. He looks like he's farming up a storm. Late game, SMG will still have some issues dealing with him. Like, their AoE damage is decent, but it's not incredible. It's like Pangolier is pretty good, and Snapfire is pretty good. Once the heart comes out on the PL, these guys will not be able to melt him.
No, but what are they going to be able to do anyway? They get the lockdown onto the Magnus, the cookie comes out, doesn't connect onto Shanks, and Shanks already used that Spike Carapace, so there's going to be a little bit of a skewer in mid one. Just being pushed back here. There is no tier 1 tower, so there's not going to be any TPs to help support these two heroes. So they do just need to back themselves away on their own.
And mid one's got the Tumbler's Toy and the Blink Dagger, so that's a huge amount of initiation rage.
Yeah.
Whenever he needs it. I'm excited to see what he goes for next. Nice skewer comes out on Shanks. Oh, double stun coming out from Shanks.
Really nice setup here. Tino's going to try and get himself in. There's going to be the rotation from Palos as well. Arfu's going to go down. Shanks, do they want to go even further? Vendetta, they're going to see mid one. Mid one's just trying to juke around the trees, but there was a ward that saw which way he was going here. Moon's backing him up. Shanks. Okay, so he's gonna... No, he gets dragged back! Spike Carapace is gonna be used, so mid one can't get that control after the skewer back. Rolling Thunder. Do they have the lockdown onto the next assassin? Do they want to even go any further onto this mid one? He's not gonna be able to blink himself in because of the Razor taking all of his damage. Paulson gets the kill onto Shanks. Moon could be in a little bit of trouble. Diffusal Blade's gonna be slowing him down here. Moon gets that swashbuckle away though. Palos, do they want to carry on? Mid one! Oh, the RP was teased, but he doesn't throw it out here. He might go for afterwards. Oh! It's only illusions! He only catches illusions with it. Arfu tries to go with the Mortimer Kisses now as well. Arfu takes so much damage, and even the Morphling, can he get himself away from this one? CDR has to get the waveform away.
Oh, that was...
painful.
That was interesting. Well, I mean, it is if you're painful if you're an SMG fan. I, of course, am not biased, but that was... okay. I mean, I'm very surprised with how that fight went. The RP, he held it on for a long time. He saw the PL do the doppelganger. He blinked in, does not RP, even though he was right like next to all of them. He also didn't go for Tina when they could have gone. Like, some very interesting decisions coming out from SMG in that fight, particularly when it comes to the use of RP. It's not over yet. 3,000 gold advantage for Execration, so it's not the biggest deal, but yeah, it's surprising to see a team with so much team fight lose in that situation.
Yeah, and again, CDR the only one left alive after that fight, and he just had to move himself away. Like you say, the net worth, though, for Palos, he's sitting really high onto this. The Diffusal Blade as well, if he can get on top of the Morphling, he's going to be able to stop him from being too much of a pain with that attribute shift, because he can just burn his mana right down, do a lot of damage that way as well. So the Morph, it's...
I think attribute shift is free now, it doesn't cost mana.
Well, no, but he's going to be taking the health away as well, isn't he? So he's going to be burning down. He's going to be doing extra damage with that mana burn.
Oh, yeah, sorry, my bad. I misunderstood. My bad. Sometimes when you're talking to heralds, you're like, oh, you guys, this is the mechanic. But you're like, oh, wait, no. Heralds have feelings, too. I'm sorry.
Excuse me? I'm at least Crusader.
Oh, well, Crusader 3, if you ask me. Well, I mean, while... looks like Execration, they're feeling a little bit bold after that previous fight, and they're like, well, let's play on the enemy side of the map. SMG Ultimate's starting to come up here. 20 seconds on the Fiend's Grip, 35. They really only have the Rolling Thunder, actually. It's going to take a little bit more time, about half a minute. for the rest of the team is ready to fight. But they are going to go for it.
To get the drag back onto Abeng. Abeng, is he going to be able to get himself away from this? Diffuser Blade for the slow, but the Brain Sap comes out. Paulison does claim the kill, and that Untouchable, well, he was pretty touched there, being taken down there by Paulison and the rest of his team.
I think he got a little bit more than touched, but he is going to be, pushing daisies now. They do top lane. SMG RP is up, but it's just mid one by himself. Who's going to go for that BKB next? All right, gonna help him make sure he can jump in and not have to worry about. Nyx Assassin is proving to be a bit of an issue for mid one. He jumps in, he sees the Nyx Assassin. If you skewer him, you get stunned after. You can't do the RP combo.
What?
You don't RP him. Oh,
Moon. I mean, Moon's going to go for the Rolling Thunder. I don't even think he meant to get the killer onto Shanks, but he swashbuckles into the shield crash, and Shanks was right next to him and just deletes the Nyx Assassin.
I was like, wait, he's invis, right? Because I saw him invis. I was like, there. And then he just dies. Like, what?
Yeah, there's no sentries. There's nothing like that. It was just really good timing on Moon's part.
All right. Well, Moon is definitely going to be very happy with that. All right, Bob's got the BKB, by the way, on this Death Prophet. I'm slightly surprised that they haven't been pushing the issue a little bit more.
Yeah.
But they do respect this mid one unit. It's RP, it's mech. Rolling Thunder is still very dangerous for them. Tino has BKB as well, though. So you do have two BKBs. PL's got the Sanjin Yashin with the Defusal. Does feel like Execration there. In a good timing. Mid lane, though.
You get the Fiend's Grip onto Bob after that drag back. Going to be using the RP to drag onto Shanks as well. They're going to be able to clean up too. SMG. They were mad. They are furious that Execration got nearly a full team wipe, and they're just putting the full pressure onto the side of Execration anytime these ultimates are up now.
What's cool about that is that they really didn't need to do much in that fight. Just use your abilities. You don't need like some insane amount of damage. The Fusel Blade on Moon does help, but mid one, Polosan and Moon, they just do it from items. Oh, another skewer!
The drag back onto Tino now as well. He pops that BKB. What's he going to be able to do is dragging the damage away from CDR, but it looks like Tino has to move himself away, even with this Eye of the Storm going. They get the kill onto Paulus, and Palos is going to be able to get himself away from this now as well. The Cookie, there's the Shard, so there's going to be that Mortimer Kiss flying through there as well. Mortimer Kisses themselves have been used.
And this is so. Oh my god, mid one, he almost gets another one. No, sorry, he was just jumping on the cliff. I thought he was going to go for Shanks. I was like, wait, is he going for it now? It looks like it's going to be the Aegis, going to go on Moon. They don't give it to CDR. They're like, Moon's going to be fighting with us a lot. We'll make sure he's the guy who's going to have 2 lives. And yeah, this is what I was expecting more from SSG. With this insane team fight lineup, you're up against a team that's really not early game centric. And Execration, they haven't been able to use Bob to his full potential. He did really well in the laning stage, but since then, like, they took mid tower, bottom tower. That's about it. Barely any damage to the tier 2s. Top still standing, and the cooldowns on Execration are pretty long themselves. Like Death Prophet 1 minute, 2 minutes and a half. Oh, Moon, he's just gonna be fine.
Just watch it, yeah. But I mean, the Diffusal did come out, and Moon, does he want to go? Rolling Thunder's available. Shanks, so he walks himself straight past the Sentry Ward. Might be able to do a lot of damage onto the Magnus. The Magnus still has that mech if he's going to be able to get unstunned. Yeah, he's going to be able to get himself away with the skewer. The chase, though. Afu. Bullwhip comes out, going to be able to slow Afu down. Afu, does he actually want to turn this one around? He's got that cookie. The Nightmare sets up onto the Razor now as well. Moon comes in with a shield crash, doing a little bit of damage. There's going to be the Spike Carapace, but he does have the swashbuckle back lines, though. They're going to be able to get the control again onto Bob, and Bob gets taken down. Moon, he wants this kill onto Shanks. He's going to be able to pick it up. Aegis will be popped now as well. He's fighting into this. So they want to carry on going because the Morphin's going to be fighting in now as well. And it looks like CDR is going to be able to take that form of Tino. Static Link. Oh, they're going to be able to catch out now into Palos. And Palos, he's just... Can he get himself out with the doppelganger? Palos, he's trying to do what he can to take Afu down. But CDR will be able to get the pick. Out of mana, though, with the illusions cleaning up with the Diffuser Blade. Abeng, he's going to be slowed. He's going to be in trouble. He's going to be taken down. CDR gets the kill.
And all that, by the way, no Mortimer's Kisses, no RP. Like, mid one here, he's just like, was going to throw it at the very last second, dies before it. It doesn't even matter. They still win the team fight.
Yeah.
Like, Execration, this is really turning out pretty terrible for them. CDR's got the BKB. By the way, since Bob has bought the BKB, he has died twice without being able to use it.
Oof.
And that is... Like, you miss such a timing with that. You get the BKB, you're supposed to start doing work with it. But he has been dying without being able to get anything for his team. He's level 13, whereas Afu's almost level 12 on the Snapfire. So This is a mid death proc. He's about to hit level 50, but so it's not too terrible. But he is he's falling behind compared to what he should be in this game.
Yeah, I'm hearing. Oh, they've actually found out the next assassin once again. The skewer back into the brain sap. Cookie comes out, but everybody's stunned because of that spike carapace. And now Palos has to run himself away. I mean, we did see a glimpse of what I was talking about. You know, Palos taking all the mana away from the Morphlin in that last fight, so he couldn't get off the Manta style. He couldn't use that waveform. You know, he was kind of stuck in terms of mobility, but it was just the fact that Palos was on his own against 3 heroes that once everyone else started to pile on, he didn't have the chance after all the mana had gone from the Morphlin.
Yeah, it's tough. But he's just gonna get the heart though. Like that'll help a little bit once he has it.
Yeah.
You know, he still does okay damage. Just is it gonna be enough?
Is it?
We'll find out.
Is it?
Is it?
Is it?
Snapfire is going for Vlad. By the way, if you get Wraith back, it's not bad for Cookie as well as Shockwave. They were trying to get that combo to land. Might have been able to get Palos, but in the end, doesn't really matter too much. Aegis has been reclaimed for a while, and Roshan still has 4 minutes and a half. So doesn't feel like SMG is in a hurry to do something, you know? They have a smoke on our full. See if they want to go for it. But in general, the onus is on Execration to get something to happen, because late game, it's RP, Mortimer's Kisses, Morphling, you know, with a Rolling Thunder. As much as I like PL, I don't think he's gonna be enough to handle that.
How do you like this build from the Enchantress as well? Gone for 0 points into the Impetus.
Oh god.
Like, I'm not saying that it is, because it obviously has a decent kit, or they might be able to get the dive onto Palos here now as well. Diffusal Blade comes out, Shanks is going to be close to get the kill onto mid one. Mid one's going to go down, and the illusions do clean up. But yeah, so Abeng, like, he has a lot of utility in the fights after he's going to try and go for the TP, but yeah, once you pop the slow, once you pop the heal, you are kind of a walking creep, you know?
Yeah, I mean, isn't that hero naturally a walking creep? Like, yeah, but this is this no damage build is very strange. He's gonna have a Wraith back though, so that is gonna help quite a bit. Like to make sure the hero has actual influence, and you do have the Vlad's aura. So even though you're a creep, you are a creep with a decent aura, helping your team. But I agree, it is a bit odd to see that just no impetus shot at all, especially when you have people moving. You know, Cookie, the skewer, the what's it called, the swashbuckler, like all these abilities give you some distance that might make the impetus do even more damage.
Yeah,
you know.
and
but he disagrees. He doesn't want to.
It's surprising as well, because when the Ench support comes out, you usually see like a semi-support where you still get the Dragon Lance, you know, you still get that kind of ranged item. So yeah, the Ench,
Hurricane Pike if you can get it,
yeah. So the Ench going straight for that Wraith Pact, and that is going to be the only big item, because I mean, you look at the net worth, nearly 5k net worth, but it's going to be all tied up in this Vlad's coming through into the Wraith Pact.
Yeah, and I mean the Wraith Pact is nice, but one of the things is like it takes for a while for you to get that point booster, which you use decent stats. Like Enchantress is one of the weakest heroes when it comes to survivability. If you don't have the Nature's Attendant, in terms of pure health, she's very weak. Meanwhile, she's gonna break the smoke though. Abeng.
Oh, the Fiend's Grip just gets used, and Bambi's gonna be slain again.
They're just like, nope, that's it. Just get rid of her as soon as we can. I like that. I like when you see someone, just use all your spells, kill them, just like move on.
Yeah.
And you see pros do it a lot because they recognize the value of going 5 versus 4. Even if you show up without, you know, the Fiend's Grip, you might be missing a spell. They're missing a whole player, you know.
Yeah. And this is going to be interesting as well, because the Morphlin wants to. I assume that's going to be the Skadi here for the Morph. Yeah, the second
Skadi.
ultimate applying in, so it's going to be the Skadi. So extra stats as well, and he's getting the extra damage coming through from the Empower. And, you know, how do you then kind of stand up to this? Because he's going to be pretty tanky, doing a lot of damage, and just stopping you from... even deals with the heart, kind of, for the Phantom Lancer. To a point, you know, not completely dealing with it, because he's still going to have a massive health pool, but it's going to really be a kick in the pants to this regen that you're going to be getting from the heart coming through.
Still, I feel like that's not too bad though. I do feel like the PL versus Morphling is not terrible. Like I feel like PL can actually like go 1v1. Oh, speaking of that, look at this team fight.
They might be able to lock down Paulus in a really big RP. The 3 heroes, multiple kisses. The BKB is there. Paulus does he want to try and chase? It's going to be mid one trying to get himself away with the skewer, just getting himself out of danger. Going for that TP and no chase. Do they have the damage? They absolutely don't. But now Paulson, can he get himself away from this? Tino's doing what he can. He's going to be able to get it there. But it was you know, the RP, the multiple kisses comes out, everybody scatters from that. You do lose 2, you lose Moon, you lose Paulison, but you are going to be able to put pressure onto this tier 2, and I don't know if Execration are going to be able to return the favor onto the towers.
Moon dying first is pretty terrible. Like, this guy, he's got the Aghanim Scepter and the Diffusal, and he's got the Orb of Corrosion, which, gives you a little bit of minus armor, a little bit of damage.
Yeah.
So the fact that he dies first, he needs a lot of their damage that he works with, especially with the Aghanim Scepter. There's so much AoE, so a little bit awkward that they lose him. Even though there's a good 3-man RP by mid one, Afu did try to follow up. It didn't work out for them. By the way, Afu on the Snapfire going for the BKB, generally so that this way, if Nyx Assassin does walk into Spike Carapace into a Mortimer's Kiss, you don't care so much. To have the gobs, you're like, oh, I'll just BKB before that happens and I'll be fine. So, interesting choice. Not going for the Wraith Pack, going straight up for the BKB. I don't know if I love it, but it's fine. It's an interesting approach to the game.
Yeah, it's like you say, it is going to be able to mean that he gets the full payload of Mortimer Kisses off. CDR going back for that Ags now as well. And mid one, how's he look? I mean, there's still 24 seconds to the RP, so maybe just trying to avoid Roche is up if you want to go into the pit.
Second Roche as well. They smoke up though, which makes it awkward. It's like, we smoked, but Roche is up. Looks like we'll just have to reveal ourselves. And walk in, they're just going to go for it.
I mean,
Execration.
It gets them into the pit without them being seen by any wards, right? So mid one's going to have that RP. It's going to be quite nice. It's going to be a really fast Roshan as well. Look at how quickly this is going down.
Yeah, in the meantime, mid one stands there, gets the Bambi. She's going to lose her life. And this is a 0-10-5 on the chest. Oh, Bob, he's going for it. He still has the BKB. First BKB use.
Bob, yeah, they want to go in, and you can see CDR, he's got that static link, he's going to be draining all the damage away from Tino, and Tino with the Eye of the Storm, can he carry on going through? The BKB going to be popped here now as well from Tino. Tino trying to get himself away with the RP, it catches him, and Shanks, they're going to be able to just sit, right-click these 2 heroes down, and Shanks, he's already used that Spike Carapace, he's just going to be cleaned up 3 heroes dead. SMG, really good fight there, and they might not be done just yet. Afu finds the cookie, but it's only going to be onto the illusions.
Execration's timing was you're gonna have to, like, it's a needle in a haystack to find it in this game. You have to sort of really team up to, go in with Bob strong, and then as he falls off, Palos will join in, and they were really gonna have to thread the needle with their timing in this game. I don't think they did. Like, they lost Bob twice before he was able to get the first BKB use. And just now you saw it, like, he BKB, and CDR was like, okay, I'll just kick your ass, I don't mind. While that tower's gone, and it looks like the Rax is also going to be taking that beating.
Yeah, and CDR, he's got that Aegis up for the next 3 minutes or so. Moon might not be so lucky, but he is going to be able to get the roll-up off. Going to be forced away from Palos, pushing him away in that roll-up form. Do they want to carry on going even further, though? The Impale comes out, they might be able to. Nightmare going to keep Moon safe for a little bit. The Cookie's going to be there now as well. Do they have enough to get the cleanup? Where's the damage going to come through? Again, still no RP. The Rolling Thunder does come through into the back lines. Waveform comes in, they just blow up Harbang. Paulson will go down to Bob, but it's still going to be dive here now as well. Moon, most of the kisses going to be used to get the Fiends onto the Nyx Assassin now as well. It looks like it might be going the way of SMG here, but what can Execration do with this? The Refresher comes out. Tino's going to try and get some damage off now, but mid one, he's still got that BKB going. They're going to be able to pop the Aegis. Or are they? Yeah, they will. They do pop it. And carry on.
Looks like it's not too bad here. CDR is going to come back here. Can he actually fight this? Shanks. Oh, he's going to go for.
Do they have the damage?
Oh man, that was scary. In the meantime, it was scary for SMG and a little bit for me as well, honestly. But in the end, they're not too miffed about this SMG. They still have the melee racks. Yeah, they lost a little bit, but they also forced they used the dieback on Execration. Execration are also kind of okay with this. You took the more gold, you took way more experience from them, and they did prove that they could take a fight. CDR, he's not as invulnerable as we thought.
No, yeah, like you say, they did take a full. I mean, apart from Paulison, they wiped everyone else out. It cost them 2. No buybacks there as well for Execration. So they are starting to hit that time and hitting a really good point in the game. And the net worth, what is it? It's only a 4k net worth lead to SMG. The 2 cores, the 2 position ones, separated by about. It's not even 1,000 gold, just under 900 gold here. Palos is just going to be able to carry on farming up.
In the meantime, those Snapfires really farmed as a support, by the way. She's going to have that BKB very soon. Like, she is And I'm surprised she's not gonna go like, all right, guys, I'll take the little shredder abilities and just kill everyone with something like that. But very farmed on the Snapfire, gonna have that BKB, gonna help out quite a bit when she gets that. In the meantime, though, SMG, yeah, he lost the fight, but is the situation actually desperate for you now? Probably not. Although, when Moon uses his BKB, his first BKB by accident.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's on cooldown. I was like, he's next to the tower, and then he's shining. I'm like, why is he shining? He's like, oh, it's a BKB, all right. He's checking to make sure it works. You ever get a BKB and you're like, I pressed it, there's nothing happening, I'm supposed to press BKB and the enemies run away from me. Why are they still hitting me? But yeah, this is a bit awkward. They're actually smoking up without the BKB on Moon. If he gets caught and dies, it's going to be real risky for them.
Smoke's going to break here, but it might be the engage coming through from Execration. The dive that they want. Yeah, they're going to be able to get the stun off onto Moon. Moon goes into the roll-up, but they're going to target most other heroes now as well. CDR having his damage drain. What's he going to be able to do? Tino with his BKB. And Moon, he wants to go on the roll and thunder. The multiple kisses are going to be coming out now as well. Palos just gets himself away with the doppelganger, chasing onto the high ground. They're going to be able to stop that TP away from Paulison.
Buyback was used by Shanks, but they kill Polosa in return. So, I mean, it says even, but SMG is probably going to be a bit happier with that, forcing that buyback. Next time you kill Shanks, he's going to be out for, what, 70 seconds at least.
Yeah, and so a good... I mean, I still think the buyback's going to be worth it here if they feel they can put pressure on. Speaking of pressure on, though, what are they going to be able to do? The cookie comes out. As the RP still not being used here at mid one, he is going to use it, just locks down Bob, gets that kill. Lincoln Sphere pops now as well, CDR with the BKB. It is going to be timing out. Can they go even further onto this Palos? They get the slowdown diffuser blade, but the blink away here from the Magnus, so he gets himself out of danger. Afu might not be so lucky, rolling. Thunder comes through from Moon, and Moon, what can he do? Trying to turn the damage onto him, and Shanks is getting low. Is this going to be the dieback? They do take down the Nyx Assassin. Abeng sitting on the back of the fight, though, with those Nature's Attendants trying to heal up. CDR's getting so low. Look at this. Tino with a refresher into the Linkers, into the BKB, and they're just cleaning up mid one. Can he get himself away from this? The BKB is going to be there, but it looks like Tino wants to chase down with the Eye of the Storm. Skewer up onto the high ground. They're trying to get him away, but mid one, he's still being chased down by the illusions. Even Palos, he just dives tier 3s, tier 4s. Paulison trying to do what he can, but he's going to be oh so alone here. And Paulison, the drain from the damage, and Tino cleans him up again.
Dude, Tino, God mode in that fight. Holy moly, dude, he did almost 7,000 damage. Like what a performance. Goes in with the double ultimate, with the stack link, BKB, insane performance by Tino, keeping them in the game. And he gets all the kills. Looks like they're going to be losing Afu as well. And SMG, are you going to be buying back to defend this top? Because if you're not, you are going to be giving it to the enemy, to Execration. Execration are like, yeah, we're just going to take it. We don't give a damn. Yeah. Fortify is used, but as long as that range creep stays alive, oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's going to fall anyway. And they have bottom lane pushing in as well, so they're okay on Execration side. This could be 2 lanes of Raxus, honestly.
Yeah, they're going to be able to send Palos, like I said, just to the bottom lane. Another fortification going to be used because of the change, so they do get that tier 3 going down, an extra fortification coming out. It might just be enough to keep these buildings going here while everyone respawns. Mid one. He doesn't get the skewer! Oh, it was a good play, but he just didn't get the angle to get the drag back onto Palos. Mid one just says, notice me, as the Nightmare does come through. They get a little bit of control here. But it looks like Palos going to be able to get himself out of this, and that melee Rax not looking too healthy in this now as well.
Yeah, very close to it, but separating turns out to be a bad deal for them all. Meanwhile, Moon's taking the damage. They want this situation. They want this melee Rax, and they do get it in the end. However, Palos, he gets skewered back, and he takes the RP!
They're going to just short up the RP straight away. Shanks tries to come in with the spike carapace to do what he can on that AoE damage. Palos is going to be taking a lot of damage now as well. Can he get himself away from this? He's trying to run. He's got that heart. He's got the regen. He's trying to get himself away and drop another doppelganger to get himself out of the base. CDR does chase Palos. Going to get really low drag back here as well by the shockwave from Paulison. He's got the Fiend's Grip onto Tino, and Tino, he pops the BKB after the Fiend's Grip does wear off. Backlines, Abeng, can he do anything with the heals? They're going to be able to take down the Razor. Abeng's going to be the next one to fall, and only Bob to retreat. But again, if you lose a fight anywhere, losing it in your enemy's base, that's not the worst place in the world to go down.
Fortunately, while I usually agree with that, there's no buyback on this PL as he's down for 80 seconds. Execration were a bit greedy. They went for the double racks, putting people mid people bottom. I thought that was the right move, but they misjudged the damage. Then they weren't able to get the melee racks. They're like, guys, we gotta get the melee racks. We gotta get the melee racks. They lose Tino. They lose Palos. And if they just kept if they just settled for mid, they would have gotten and left in time that they wouldn't have lost anyone.
I think Tino bought out for the Skadi as well before that fight, because he did have the buyback before the fight kicked off. He buys out for the Skadi, and that's going to cost, it's going to cost him his buyback. That's why I didn't think it was that bad. I thought he had the gold for it, but no, he did. He buys out. And this is going to be SMG. They're going to be able to turn this around. 30 seconds without your two big cores here. This, and Magnus, you look at mid one, he's pushing out this bottom lane as well. You've already lost your mid lane of Rax. Is this going to be
It's up 20 seconds. It's up 20 seconds. Will they go for it? Or will SMG do like execution? It may decide maybe it's a bit too greedy. Roshan is up. It is the third Roshan of the game. Free Aghanim Scepter. They're like, you know what? Let's not pull an execration. Let's just let's just go get the enemies Roshan. Let's get the Roshan. Let's just be fine. Extraction that does give them a good opening. You know, not a good opening. It gives them a chance to fight for their lives, but that was a bit greedy in them going for that Rax. You need to go for it. They all smoke up, but I think Roshan's gonna fall long before they reach, and they do.
Who got the CDR got the Aghanim's blessing off Roche there as well?
I believe the shard went to off. I'm not quite sure. Oh, here we go.
They're going to be able to go here again. The multiplicator is going to be used now as well. Moon with the Rolling Thunder. BKB from Afu. Does he want to turn? There's going to be a really nice RP onto 3 heroes. And the Rolling Thunder connects after it now as well. They're going to be able to pop that Lincoln Sphere. 2 heroes dead already. And Bob's going to be the third one to fall. Can they go even further? Abeng as well as Palos. The only 2 left alive in this fight. It's going to be Abeng with one more right click. Do they have the damage to take it down? Abeng's just going to hide himself away from this as they try and chase down onto Palos, the bigger target. The Horn Toss back into this now as well. The Doppelganger, but he doesn't get himself out. No, they're chasing illusions. They're chasing the wrong one. Moon does find the real one now as well. And Palos, he's going to go for another Doppelganger, try and play mind games once again, but they find the right one, they find the kill, they find all 5 heroes, and they probably find the game here now as well.
Yeah, it's just such overwhelming team fight from SMG. You know, I mean, what do the supports do, right? Shanks and Enchantress, like, they just don't do anything in this late game situation. And it's all on the cores. Bob missed his timing with the BKBs. Tino, he absolutely carried the team in the late game, but it was not enough. And Palos as well did as much as he can, but it really feels like it's a little bit of a 2 versus 5 at the end game here. Yeah. Shanks, he's here. Is he gonna be? Nope. He just called GG, realizing that the game's over. And feels like it's been over for a while now, honestly.
This was, apart from that one fire execration around, as soon as that went down, like you're saying, they didn't have buybacks. SMG's capitalized. I was, again, just looking at Enchantress's build, level 16, still no points in impetus. Went for points in stats.
Oh, God. Yeah, like, you need the damage. Again, it's just how the hero is played. Like, this is the problem with when you go with these heroes, you have to play a very specific way, and if you don't get that timing right, like, Execution just had to play really fast, had to really make sure they can control the map early, hope Palos comes online and ends the game with them, like, you know, sub 25 minutes they have at least 1 Rax, but that didn't happen. SMG's teamfight was just way too strong, and that's why they take the first game of the series.
Yeah, but it is only the first game, everybody, so we are going to be having a second game between Team SMG and Execration. But first, we're going to take a quick 10-minute break to see, you know, just get ourselves a little bit of a breather, get yourself something to eat, something to drink, and we'll be back with the second game to see if Execration can pull it back, or if Team SMG, are they just going to go through 2-0 in these group matches? We'll find out after the break.
I would hope so, but I mean, they could go DP off lane, TA mid, and pick another carry. Like, that's not out of the realm of possibility here. I hope they don't do that. I do feel like you'd be losing a lot of momentum. However, whereas last game I was like, PL will have a tough time. Here, it's much easier for TA to carry the game. You know, you got good support staff, you got DP, you got insane tower damage. Last game, they were able to get a team wipe. They go to the enemy base and they start tickling the towers. And you're like, well, this is not going to work. So Execration, just a better draft all around. Yeah, like everything that they have. For SMG, what are you going to go with? A mid? Might want to go with a carry. You know, you're kind of be like, it's a Death Prophet mid, TA mid. It's very open. You might just go for a carry that you like. Maybe something melee that can benefit from the Empower.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind a PA, but guess what? Winter Wyvern's a problem, so I was wondering if they were going to go for something melee. Instead, they go with the Clinks. But now, SMG definitely needs a mid laner who can, like a Kunkka, just someone to start fights, because you can't be the Magnus, Snap, or the Bane who's in front.
And how do you actually feel about this Clinks? I'm not really a fan of the hero itself. It's still going to take time to get through the TA's refraction charges as well in the fights.
That's yeah. I mean, Clinks has received a lot of that. I think we talked about the Burning Barrage buff.
Yeah.
Has been huge for the hero, and since then, I don't think that there's any hero who can output the same amount of damage in like the 2 seconds that Clinks can. Like I've seen, he just goes out of nowhere. Gleipnir melts 3 heroes. It's insane amounts of damage. I don't like the how kind of fragile the hero is and the fact that he only does damage. But with the Gleipnir build, it's not too bad. I don't dislike the hero. I'm no Robin roll. I think he's okay.
Yeah, I'm a hater. I've got to admit, I'm a Clinks hater. I think, even with the amount of health that he can get through his ultimate, if you get on top of him, you get the reveal off, you just blow him up, and he doesn't really have an impact for me. And I just don't like the hero. Maybe it's because, flashback to pubs when he was at his peak, and I'm just like, I never want to see this hero ever again. It kind of manifests into this hero is no good now. But I'm not a big fan of the Clinks, to be honest.
That's fair. I mean, there are a few, for me, it's Enchantress and Nyx Assassin are heroes where I just don't like. Another hero that I don't like, but I don't think is weak, is Mirana, because I was checking my Dota buff, and across the 10,000 games or something, my lowest win rate against all heroes is Mirana, which is something like 38% win rate against the hero. I absolutely despise playing against Mirana. So that's another hero that when I see them, I'm like, Mirana again. In the meantime, though, they believe that it's going to be a mid-death Prophet carry TA because they banned the Darkseer on SMG, whereas Execration, they banned the Storm Spirit here. Let's see. Viper's in the pool, but Viper definitely received a bit of nerfs with the slow. I don't think that makes too much of a difference if you play it mid, but as a off lane, it's kind of annoying. And Pangolin gets removed as well. Execution, they realize they're like, okay, Moon was too good. Let's get rid of that hero.
Yeah, and they just take it out of the pool. So what are we looking at here? SMG. Would you ever consider playing the Magnus in the mid lane and then picking up something like an off lane Venomancer here against the Templar Assassin?
The Veno pick would be good. I like the Veno or Viper. You put them in the off lane, but then Magnus's RP becomes just a non-factor for the rest. No, that's not a factor, but you generally want someone else to be in front, giving you vision.
Yeah.
And Snapfire and Bane, particularly the Bane, if Bane gets burst first in the fight, that hero is not tanky enough to really give you enough information, nor is he's got too much value. A good Fiend's Grip can win the game for you, so you don't want to throw that way. You want to throw a position 5 an Abaddon or an Undying in the front. I want Kunkka to come out for either team, but it gets banned. So yeah, I don't think that Bane is it has to be something else for SMG. It has to be something who can go to the front. Oh, Primal Beast! Execute. That's Tino's signature hero this patch. I love it. I feel like they also need a bit of initiation. They not as much. They have the ES and the Death Prophet, but wow! Now SMG, they've got to respond with something like a Dragon Knight, something like that. No, there's no Kunkka. They could put Magnus mid and take some sort of Mars offlane, something like that for themselves. But SMG, I don't think they can go with a range here like a Zeus. You need something else. You need something very burly in the front line.
And yeah, SMG took out the Kunkka themselves, like you say. So
Timbersaw? Oh, they go Mars. Okay, Mars. Yeah, there you go. Okay, I like this. I mean, I felt that they needed something like this. They go for the Mars for the Moon. It's a bit unconventional to see Mars mid, not the standard position, but well worth it.
It does still give you the extra vision, because Moon's probably still going to be the one that goes in for the Blink Dagger, sets up with the Arena. Your mid one can get that drag back. I mean, vice versa as well. If you get a really good RP into the Arena coming up from Mars, or if Mars sets up for Arena, your mid one's going to have then a smaller target to need to hit for Execration to be grouped up for that RP. So, it's two good initiations.
Yeah.
Multiple kisses as well. Good setup for those inside the Arena or even inside the Fiend's Grip, really coming out from Bane. And I'm just thinking, looking at this, okay, I kind of went against Execration in that last game, saying that they've not really been performing. I like the lineup better. I think I'm just going to have to say Execration this match. I just think there's
I
a
don't
little bit
know.
more damage coming out for them. You know, there's a little bit more, not jump potentially, but the Primal Beast, you know, being able to get on top of the Clinks with the just being able to pulverize them, the Winter's Curse coming out to save when the RP or the arena does come through. I don't know. I'm feeling this Execration draft.
All right. Well, I don't. I think the execution draft is definitely better than game one. Like I feel like you bring a lot more oomph, if that's oomph here.
Yeah,
You bring a lot more
your
oomph
oomph,
to
yeah.
the oomph a lot harder in this game. On the execution draft, thanks to the supports. I love this Tino Primal Beast. He always performs really well with it, and I thought Bob did really well on the DP until the BKB came out. Then still, SMG's team fight is insane. You know, all you have to do is land either the the Magnus RP or the arena, and then clicks by himself cleans house. Because of that, I feel like SMG's draft is super easy to execute, and I'm gonna go with SMG. I'm gonna go with SMG in game two as well, and we'll see. We'll see how let the chips fall as the cookie crumbles. Right? That's the saying. Is that how it goes?
Yes, that's not mixing metaphors at all.
Yeah. Yes. So SMG, all in on SMG. I think that their team fight is just too strong, and they won't even need clinks. Like the fact that their damage is insane with the 4 that they have, and they got 3 guys who are relatively hard to kill. And clinks once he ulti is pretty hard to kill. Pelosin with the Bane. I don't think X will have the same damage issues. You know, damage game one they had real damage issues. Here, like TA could just burst people down. As tanky as they are, she can still burst them down pretty like she can do it.
Yeah.
Whereas PL takes forever to get his damage out. I wouldn't be surprised if Execration take it, but go SMG in this one. You know.
Oh, look at this as well, Palos. He doesn't start with any refraction charges. He doesn't start with the extra damage, the extra range coming out from the side blades. He's gonna go straight for the meld.
Oh, just to get the ruin, I guess. Yeah, you know, if you're SMG, you walk in, you're like, there's no one there. But Afu, I believe if you like walk next to him, there's a chance that you know he's there. Like, you know, you feel like there's a body in the way blocking you. So we'll see if SMG goes for it. Mid one, he's here. He's got the shockwave. Will he throw it out? Oh man, this is like it's like the end of the episode. Oh, yeah. There you go. He does throw it.
To get the drag back. Yeah, there was 4 heroes hanging around though from Execration. So mid one, he does get that drag back. Pylos could go in for another meld just for the right click damage if he wants to, but mid one's just going to move himself away. Meanwhile, on the River Shanks, he's going to be able to pick up. So it's going to be a 2 for 2, I do believe. Yeah.
So a lot of shenanigans that really didn't make a difference in the end. You know, like,
everyone was having fun.
And they do, but SMG does start off with an Observer D ward, which gives Afu quite a bit of EXP. You know, almost about a quarter to the way. Sorry, no, 20% of the way to level 2. So that could make a difference. You know, if you reach level 2 around the same time as the Magnus, you throw the cookie, you catch 1, could be first blood for your side.
Yeah, and we did see that this lane was quite powerful in that last game. Palos, he just wants to carry on coming in with the meld here as well, and Abeng putting out with the Arctic Burn, just putting damage onto mid one. Afu being forced back now as well, but Afu, he can turn this one around. When the Arctic Burn was off into the Winter Wyvern, you know, he's only going to be sitting with 46 right-click damage, and Afu can just put out the Scatter Blasts to point blank onto Abeng, and Abeng, the cooldown on the Arctic Burn, is so much higher to Afu. He can just put out so much harass.
I mean, remember it used to be 50 seconds at level 1? It's like 50, 40, 30, 20. It's like, oh my god, that was when it was a little bit brutal. But yeah, it's not much attack range on the Winter Wyvern when you don't have your flying. It's like, what, 425? So you're always going to get that nice scat blast right into the hero's face. And in general, I feel like bottom lane should be kind of... If there's going to be a kill, it's going to be in favor of SMG. You know, I don't feel like Winter Wyvern and TA are going to be able to get kills on Magnus or Snapfire.
Yeah, and at level 1 as well, a little bit harder for Palos. He does go for the side blades at level 2, but it was a little bit harder for Palos to come in for the last hits because it just meant point blank without that extra little bit of range coming up from the side blades. You were being harassed out by mid one anytime you came forward as well. Even if it's just a right click hero though, you know, that does start to add up. And it gets a little bit harder, but Palos should be back on track now. No refraction charges, so he still can take some harass. He's not going to have the extra attack damage coming up from those refraction charges as well until level 3. But at the minute, he doesn't look like he's being super contested.
Yeah, he's doing all right. But Magnus, you know, it's a melee hero with... It doesn't have actually any points in power with a shockwave level 1. Looks like they're doing some damage to Palos, but surprisingly, mid one's really saving that level 2 skill point and not putting it either in the empowers to get more CS or the skewer to because they're not close to the tower. So it's kind of wasting your level 2 skill point, if that makes any sense, but because you're not using it. I imagine once he goes level 3, he's going to go 1-1-1 on mid 1. Oh.
Palos going to be taking a lot of damage. The Splinter Blast doesn't actually connect onto Afu nor mid 1, and Afu just moves himself into the trees. Watching as well the other lanes, I mean, everybody's getting so low. The first blood could come literally anywhere here at the minute, and just watching the top lane, there was a really nice rolling ball there from Shanks onto Paulson, and then the follow-up coming out from the trample on Tino. And Paulson got himself out, and I think it was about 16 health in the top lane. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Moon, he has to come in close to last hit, which means he's going to be vulnerable here to the Spirit Siphons, being chased away from Bob when he went for that top water rune, and it just put him in a really bad position, had to hide himself away. So Execration, 2 out of the 3 lanes seem to be first blood potential here for them, and then this bottom lane, oh, the cookie comes out now as well. The skewer underneath the tier 1 tower, this should be the first blood. Yeah, the drag back from the shockwave as well. Abeng, he's going to go down, the tower gets the last hit. Tino on the top lane, can they go into Paulson now as well? As they get the kill onto CDR?
But still, I mean, at least you got the first blood on your side for SMG, but losing your carry, definitely not going to feel good, so it's going to be an even trade overall for the 2 sides. And top lane, though, this Tino Earth Spirit combination here with the Primal Beast, that's pretty hard to chew through. You know, that is not going to be an easy thing for those 2 to kill. Meanwhile, you're talking about mid lane Bob versus Moon. With the Spirit Siphon now no longer being a percentage-based ability, just doing flat, it is better early game. You know, getting that 75 health at level 3 is pretty insane. Right now it's only 50, but that is a huge amount of Spirit Siphon you can get off.
Yeah.
Oh, Moon?
Bob? Moon's going to be able to get himself to the water in there as well. He's just guarding. He's using the full bottle, so he knows he's not going to be contested here from Bob. He can get a free water in out of that, so makes the full use of the bottle there. And Bob just says, okay, well, I'll just take your life from the Spirit Siphon, then I don't need a water in. It'll
be interesting to see how Execration. I want to see how they adjust this game. You know, game 1 they must have felt like it was a bit too slow, and definitely when you have Earth Spirit, that's a hero that can speed the games up significantly. Top lane, Pelosi taking a bit of damage here, but should be generally fine. Shanks, that's a lot of harass. That might be his life, actually.
He doesn't have a roll away. He doesn't have the mana for another Nightmare. He's trying to toggle it through now as well. But CDR, he's waiting to get this right-click. Shanks with a rolling ball that goes the other way. But it's still going to be the death. Yeah, the right-click connects. And Tino, though, gets immediate revenge. Paulson goes down first. Even going to go with the charge now as well into the trample. Do they have the reveal? Sentry, they have a rough idea where it's going here. But CDR was able to break the vision. And Tino not able to claim that skill onto CDR here.
Huge amount of damage in the opening, but that's not enough. And again, if you're Execration, okay. Oh, they trade another trade bottom here. Bing for Palos. SMG kind of enjoying all these lanes right now.
And mid one can't go back to the creep wave because there is going to be this Splinter Blast to come through the Cold Embrace. Mid one trying to do what he can around here. Does he have any skills? He's going to be able to get the skewer back now as well. But
Shockwave in 3.
He's walking back to the creeps. The Shockwave, is he going to be enough to get the kill? It's 2 points into it, but he uses his wand, uses his stick to keep him alive. The Splinter Blast doesn't connect, and now Palos is going to be able to TP in. And this is going to be where they have the advantage because the TP from the support here from Afu was into the mid lane to help refill the bottle for Mars. And Moon just means that they're going to have a free 2v1 for a little bit on this bottom lane, which protects out the Winter Wyvern.
And looks unlucky for Moon, gets the Invis rune, but he goes back to mid, so they spot out on the enemy side. They know that he has a Invis rune if he wants to use it. I wonder if he would have considered going bottom, but doesn't matter in the end. Abin gets both bounty ruins, by the way, in his neutral camp. Sorry, neutral jungle.
Yeah.
So he'll be very happy with that. 3 for 3 right now. No one really taking a sizable advantage. Even the laning very even across the board.
Oh, the disarm. Oh, from the neutral creep. That's such a pain in the ass thing for the neutrals to be able to do at the minute.
I don't understand what that's thing. Mid lane though, Bob. He's in the arena, but he's got a Spirit Siphon. And it looks like just ulti for ulti. Not much being expanded here. I mean, sorry, not much like gained by this ultimate usage.
But if you're Moon, you're way happier, right, to use your ultimate for an Exorcism? Because the Exorcism, a longer cooldown, it's obviously not doing any tower damage. Oh, the Nightmare comes out now as well. Abeng's going to be close. Afu, does he want to try and throw the cookie and get an engage on? Yeah, this Exorcism did barely anything to the tower, it looks like. Even Moon going to be able to survive. High five. Just a bit of politeness between the teams. You got to be polite. Always be polite.
Oh, for sure. That's what these two teams are known for, politeness. They're such well-mannered teams. CDR taking a lot of damage, but again, he's just gonna be fine. Tino is doing a good job of making sure he doesn't get feeling. He does have the lowest CS on the map on CDR, so he is feeling this pressure. And yeah, you're definitely okay trading the arena for the exorcism. Like I'm not saying execution is completely on a timer.
Yeah.
But among the two teams, I would say their late game is slightly weaker at the very least. And being able to delay their tower push helps a lot for SMG's side.
Would you? I mean, we've seen a couple of times now. Tino's on top. Oh yes, yeah. So I was going to say, do you think he'd pick up a dust, bring that in, because he is getting aggressive up against CDR. You know, it's been a couple of times where he's just not had the reveal. So yeah, he's going to be bringing in that dust. So it looks like his objective, the farm that he's getting in the minute, is going to be a bonus. You know, he wants that Vanguard to come out probably into it, because he's not gone for any braces. Yeah, I only just noticed that. Usually you see the 1 or 2 braces for the Primal Beast in the offlane straight into the Soaring BKB, but he wants that Vanguard first. Why does he want the Vanguard over the braces?
I mean, it gives you a good amount of HP and blocks a lot of Clinks' damage. I usually see Tino going for a hood as well. Like, he just loves that damage mitigation, because Primal Beast, you get, what, 4.3 strength. You don't really need more health because you get so much naturally. But getting, like, more armor and more defenses helps you a lot. And, I mean, it sounds crazy, but if you get a Crimson Guard, you can really help your team against the Clinks' damage. Like, that is basically all of SMG's physical damage will be the Clinks, and if you have a Crimson Guard, you can really neuter him when he throws out the Burning Barrage. I don't think he will. Like, I think nobody gets Crimson Guard, but if Tino does get that game, I feel like it's decent in this game particularly. Oh well, Pelosin, he's hanging around level. Looks like the top tower is getting pressured pretty hard, and Pelosi's just going to TP away. They want to pressure bottom instead. They're like, you know what, we're not going to defend top, might as well do something here.
Yeah, Palos,
Palos.
He has his traps down, Palos, but he's got to be really careful. Moon has that jump potential. He's going to walk forward. He walks himself to the arena. There's going to be the TPs though. Tino, he's going to be blocked by the arena. Can't get in. So there's no pulverizer well for the Primal Beast just yet. He's trying to close that gap as quickly as possible. Shanks, he goes for a rolling ball. They're not going to be able to connect. Moon, did he have anything to slow him down? Where's that trap? It's going to be up in 3 seconds, but it looks like they might disengage. The spear comes out. Primal Beast still not going to be able to get that pulverize off. And even if he did, Paulson's down here now as well. So he would be able to get the Nightmare off to stop this through level 5. So there's no more Mortimer Kisses coming out just yet. Shanks, did he want to turn around? He's got that rolling ball. The 4 heroes down here. Oh, 3. Okay, Palos TP'd himself away.
Oh, Bob is showing up here with the Exorcism is ready, and is she going to be able to go for more? Tino rushes in. Can he catch her?
He gets the pulverize off. Yeah, the Exorcism is going to be popped now as well. Moon, spear to the tree though, and Death Prophet's going to be locked down, not getting the full benefit coming out from that Exorcism. Tino, he just says he's going to be going for that bounty rune now as well. Can't stop the TP coming out from Moon, and mid one just gets that skewer away back towards his tier 1 tower. There's Paulson in the trees. It looks like Bob, does he want to carry on going here? He's going to be able to see him now as well. No silence coming out from the Death Prophet just yet. Rolling ball behind underneath the tier 1 tower. And Shanks, he's going to be taking some tower shots. Nightmare again, going to be toggled off by Abeng. But again, it comes through for Tino. And Tino, RP gets used to lock down a mid one. Trying to get himself away. The Splinter Blast won't connect. The urn not going to be enough damage as Magnus goes back towards that mechanism to keep himself alive.
Dude, like, what were they fighting for? 2 minutes, and in the end, the only person who died was a position 5 Bane. Like that. Yeah. We saw EXO come out, RP, Arena, an Onslaught. No, sorry, a Pulverize. And in the end, just like, oh, that's all we got. We got a Bane. I think top tower fell before that as well, but very interesting. Tino, he's going for CDR. He spots it.
He does, but he misses, yeah.
And misses the Onslaught, and he's unable to go for the kill. And looks like if you're CDR, you're going to be feeling pretty okay with that. The whole time, though, Palos has been... He's just been farming up a storm, almost 1,000 ahead of CDR.
How's he looking in terms of... So he doesn't even really need to be going for that Blink Dagger to engage as well, because he does have the Primal Beast. He has the roll in from the Earth Spirit. What are they going to be able to do here, Paulson? Do they have enough damage to get the kill? He goes for the sleep, but he's still going to be taken down. Shanks gets it with the Magnetize.
Well, Bob doesn't have an EXO though, so still, you're not gonna be able to really threaten this tower unless you bring more numbers. Moon does have the arena if he wants to use it, but unlikely he's gonna be able to really catch someone with this. Execration playing this better than game 1. You know, it does feel like A lot of times SMG is playing a bit defensive. When they try to push, they Execution doesn't mind bringing a lot of people. Bing, spots mid one, but what are they going to go for? Looks like they're just going to go for Afu here.
Yeah, they're
nice,
going to
safe,
chase
secure
him
kill.
down. Spirit Siphon coming out now as well. Afu tries to go for the cookie, gets cut short. And yeah, good kill there for Bob.
Just overall execution dictating the pace of the game. Despite everything, it's actually 70% chance victory for SMG right now, according to the graph. So, and that team fight potential from SMG, once it's online, once you got the damage coming out from CDR, it is very worrisome. CDR's already got the Maelstrom. Gonna go for the Dragon Lance, might go for the Glipnir after. Then when he joins fights, it's very worrisome. So, it's still relatively fine for SMG, despite the kill advantage for execration.
And you can take a look as well, Moon. Moon and Mid One, both big engagement tools here, and they're about the same amount of gold away for the Blink Dagger between the two of them. Meanwhile, Execration, they have that engage built in. You know, they have, like I said, the Onslaught coming through into the trample. Tino going to show it off in this top lane now as well. The Pulverize comes out as well, and they're going to be able to get themselves on top. And I don't think Afu, doesn't survive through that. The TP going to be cancelled here from the Mars as well. And this is what you're talking about. The Rolling Boulder comes in, the Onslaught comes in from Tino. They can walk in, they've got the Winter's Curse. So, right from the get-go, Execration have some really good engage, and Team SMG just kind of... They are slowly catching up, but they still have to catch up.
Yeah, it's when you have less mobility on your squad, your team is buying Blink Daggers, the enemy team is just buying stats, and Tino rushes in. That's gonna be probably a Pelosin, but looks like it might be a big problem for Tino.
Tino is going to be taking the damage from the Mortimer Kisses now as well. Can't get himself out of the arena. Afu does get the kill with the last Mortimer Kiss. So you're trading off. That was a buyback for the Bane though. So yeah, okay, you lose your Primal Beast, but forcing out a buyback, that's going to be some good quality. And now Clinkz as well. He's going to be revealed. He's going to be locked down. He's going to be killed off.
They also were able to get the tower in the mid lane, so everything looking good for Execration, along with that core kill that they just got. Losing Tino, you're going to be very happy with that. Meanwhile, Afu might be losing his life as well. Yes, he does that rock last second, and it looks like, well, Moon's in trouble now.
Yeah, Moon, I mean, the Magnetizer is going to be dropped. Shanks just backs himself away, and Palos didn't want to go for the chase there either. So he's not too far away from the full Desolator as well. What's that going to be, like another creep wave? Maybe, 85 gold. So he goes for a neutral camp now. He's going to be able to pick that up and bring it out onto him. And that's going to be a really good potential for a rush. Setting up with the minus armor coming through. You've got the damage there as well. You're going to have... how long away is the exorcism? 78 seconds. So maybe you wait till that's back up and then fight around the Roche pit. Right? Maybe?
Maybe. I mean, I'm still looking at SMG's like ultimates and being a bit worried. But if RP is down, it's not enough. Arena's still a problem. By the way, Tino went for the magic resistance during trample, so he is gonna go at least have some way to mitigate some of the magic damage. Because just now the Mortimer's Kisses, I was like, man, this guy's tanky, but these gobs hurt. And looks like he's thinking the same. He's like, you know what? Yeah, I should get something to help me against that. SMG 4-man smoke. RP's up, Arena's up, everything's up. Mortimer's Kiss is up in about 10 seconds. And we'll see if they can find someone here. Meanwhile, Execration just going top lane. Still no EXO for a while though. Quite a nice ward here. And looks like Execration, they decide to smoke as well.
Yeah, I mean, they had the blink. Bob was in the lane trying to push it out, but Moon... well, he's got a haste rune now as well. This is going to be really nice, but he does push this mid lane back. So they're going to know roughly where the Mars is. Everybody else smokes it, but they're split up. SMG is split here. They've got 2 heroes bottom, they've got 1 hero top, and then 2 between the mid lane and the top lane. And this could be a really good engage if they can catch it out now as well. They're going to be able to get the roll onto the Bane. Paulson, they're going to be able to get the stance now as well. Bob chasing onto Afu. RP on the backlines, but it's only going to be onto the Earth Spirit. And the Cold Embrace comes out. There's going to be the Winter's Curse, but it's only going to be Paulson putting the damage out. Splinter Blast now as well. But that's going to be the RP from mid one. Didn't really catch anyone out. The Arena comes through, catches it onto 3. A little bit better, but Bob on the backline. Spirit Siphon now as well. Mid one's going to be forced back. Mortimer Kisses start to be dropped, but the Arena's going to be fading away, and everybody can move away from the impact zone. Moon tries to come back in. Abeng's going to get pretty darn low, but he does have that Cold Embrace in the next couple of seconds. Spear comes out onto the Templar Assassin. Now the backline's in trouble. The Onslaught comes through. They're going to be able to take down Afu. Afu's just gone. And now CDR in the middle of this was that reveal to get the Rolling Boulder in. Going to be able to pop the dust and pop the hero too, though.
That was a bit of an awkward situation. getting. I mean, all props to Execration. They are playing these fights really well.
Oh, it might not be over just yet. Mid one, he gets a really nice skewer back onto 2, but there's going to be the Spirit Siphon now as well. Even the Earth Spirit doesn't die just yet. Splinter Blast comes in. Mid one's getting really down low. It's going to be finished off by Bob, and now Moon. Can they do anything to cut him off? Or is that Rolling Boulder? It might connect here onto Moon, so there's going to be the stun into the Pulverize, into the death of the Mars.
What was that, a team wipe and more, right? Like, they got so much from that fight Execration. The way they're playing with their mobility, the way they're like making sure Tino's absorbing damage. They got Bob as well on the front line. Like, they have been. SMG has the better team fight lineup, but they're not able to land their spells because they're just doing a really good job separating them. You know, you got 2 high mobility heroes. You got the Death Prophet as well, Winter Wyvern when they fly. These guys aren't the easiest to. I don't want to say the hardest to catch, but they're not the easiest to catch. And all that adds up to Execration taking a humongous fight on their side. Yeah, it is a team wipe. You know, they just killed everyone. It took them a while to do so, but they did. And that was SMG with all their ultimates. What was it? RP on Shanks alone? That didn't work. Then they got a decent arena on 3, but CDR is not in place to do damage. He's going to go for Skadi on Clinks. I don't think that's a bad item, but I imagine he wanted to go for Gleipnir, you know, just go for more damage. All right, Bob.
The silence comes out as the arena flies through there as well, so there was no spear. And Bob, he's going to be taking a lot of damage. Winter's Curse as well onto CDR, but the Pulverize, it comes through. Moon's going to be stunned as well. The Cookies, are they going to be able to do enough damage to take down Bob? Bob will go down the backlines. Moon still going to be taking a lot of damage here now as well. It looks like Shanks might be the next one to fall. He rolling boulders back in. It's going to be a 3-man. Can they make it 4 with Tino being here? 4 heroes around, 5 heroes around, and they're going to be able to get the kill onto Arfu here, though. Tino, he gets a little bit of a good kill before he goes down himself. Meanwhile, RP going to be used onto the Templar Assassin, the drag back as well. Did he get the kill? I think he got the kill onto the Bane as well. Paulson on the back line to Palos. It will mean it costs him his life here. Blink dagger in 1 second, actually. He gets the blink! The shockwave comes out just a second too low, but Mid one's going to be able to blink himself, catch himself up now as well. The spear off the mark. Palos, how's the movement speed? 350 to 350. So now the skewer comes forward and Palos refraction charges. This is going to be long enough that the Earth Spirit's going to be able to TP in. Winter Wyvern as well if you want to go for this, but Palos does go down eventually.
And it just swings the other way. Just when we were praising Execration for the way they were able to handle that fight, but to be fair, they were a bit more split up in that situation. Yeah. So SMG was like, all right, we'll just be able to take the kills we need and move on with our lives. Overall, though, the game is very much, I won't say the standstill, but neither team's really doing like pushing there to get an advantage. Roshan's still standing, tier 2 for SMG in the mid lane, and bottom standing as well. One thing that Execration should feel pretty good about is that so far they've only lost 1 tower. So SMG, when they try to fight, there's usually going to be backup showing up.
They get it onto the Earth Spirit, but again, the Call Embrace comes out. This is going to be an arena just for the Earth Spirit. Winter's Curse is going to be used. It locks down onto mid one now as well. Exorcism comes in. Where's the damage going to come from here from SMG? Do they want to drag CDR into this fight? Mid one, they get the kill onto the Magnus. They can go even further if they want to. Mars going to be chased down. Palos, he tries to go for the right click, but the blink away here from Moon, so he disconnects from that right click.
CDR's on the way though. CDR's like, do I go in? Do I not go in? And this could be Roche here for Execration.
Yeah, I mean, they have no RP. It's going to be down for the next 19 seconds.
Oh,
it's about the time of the respawn, but Shanks, he gets cleaned up. Bane, he has that Fiend's Grip coming up in the next 4 seconds as well. If SMG get themselves into this, the arena's not going to be there, but a good control coming out from the Nightmare into the Fiend's Grip, you know, they could clean this up, and you can see Execration. Yeah, they don't want to overcommit. The Roshan is down to about half health, but they don't want to give up any kills here. They don't want to be giving up an objective with the Exorcism being down, with the Winter's Curse being down for the next 34 seconds. This is going to be a hard one to fight back into because the RP's back up, the arena's back up in 20 seconds. You know, you've got CDR, he's sticking around, he's dropping the skeletons. They want to fight into this. The Cookie to set up onto Roche. The trap's up now as well, so Execration know this is going on. But the Primal Beast, he's not here. He has to TP himself up if he wants to get involved in this, and he's going to be seen underneath a ward as well, so they know they have the advantage. They know that they can wait for this TP in from the Primal Beast and do what damage they can to Roche while this is going on. The backline jump, the skewer back, they're going to be able to catch up to the Death Prophet. Death Prophet pops up BKB, going to be able to get the silence as well. So no arena, but the rolling boulder comes through Shanks. Who does he connect on? To Moon, and he might be able to get him off before he gets the arena. The silence once again, and he doesn't have that BKB. Winter's Curse on the backlines, really big onto that. They take down Paulus, and RP going to be used onto 3. With this arena being up now as well, they might be able to turn this one around. The Burning Barrage comes through. Tino with his BKB, trying to walk himself. He's the lone survivor. Has that onslaught. Is he going to be able to get himself away from this? Where's the jump in? Mid one has that blink. Do they want to try and close that gap? Skewer. BKB's wearing off for Tino, and Tino, he has to run himself away.
Dude, I don't know what was the most amazing part of that fight. The 4-man Winter's Curse, the 4-man RP, or the 4-man Cookie. Like, what was that? And in the end, SMG takes the fight because, again, their overwhelming team fight, it's massive. In the end, they also are able to get the Aegis on CDR, but really good Winter's Curse by Abeng. And fortunately, like, right after, they just throw a great RP and they just get all the Cookie after. Oh, man, SMG... This is what the strong team fight gives you. You know, even when you're a little bit behind, even if you don't execute everything perfectly, you just have to land 1 or 2 good spells, and that's it. You're fine. All right, they have vision here. Is Midland gonna go try and skewer one back? Looks like he's thinking about it. He's got enough gold, by the way, to buy the shard if he wants to go for it. Saving quite a bit of gold in this game.
Do you think he? Yeah, no, the Horn Toss would be nice. You know, just being able to after the skewer. Yeah, and this ward as well, paying off. They were hunting onto the Primal Beast. They just didn't group up in time. You know, the Paulson was falling up onto mid one, and he just didn't feel safe because he wasn't sure where everyone else was. But now, they're going to be able to get the lockdown onto Abeng. Abeng using the Cold Embrace. It's not going to keep him alive. He just gets pushed right back into the path of Afu here now as well, and mid one cleans up the kill.
Afu, by the way, already has the Vlads. He's not going for Wraithback. He's going for BKB again. He did this in game 1, but game 1 you're up against Six Assassin. Game 2, I mean, you're up against... I mean, I don't know if that's worth it. I feel like a Wraithback would be pretty good for him, but up to him, Pelosin just trying to get the Ghost Scepter. Very poor this game. Less than 3,000 gold net worth.
It feels bad. You know, he's playing that classic position 6.
Plus it's Bane, which is a hero that has trouble farming.
Yeah.
You know, it's like either you survive in the fight or you just get like in T5. If you die, you just get nothing. He has no farming mechanic at all. Meanwhile, what do we have? Oh, it's Waters actually got the Blink Dagger. I'm not quite sure when Abeng picked it up, but that is a big deal. You know, an RP comes out, they group up, suddenly you just show up with your Blink, catch them, ulti, and you can just turn the fight around.
No, I mean, Execration, do they want to group up for a rotation? Because Bob's going to be TP into the top tier 3. Yeah, they want to make something happen even through the Aegis. Afu gets seen by the trap. Is there going to be any follow-up now as well? Afu with the cookie trying to get himself away. Really nice. Was that the Nightmare going to be used there? It was to try and keep Afu alive, but it's not going to be enough. And now they've got the silence onto the Bane. The Bane does get locked down. The trample coming over the top. And it looks like the Pulverize. Yeah, they don't want to risk a Fiend's Grip coming out. So they do get the kill onto the bow supports. But the backlines, the jump, the Burner Barrage, the Arena, the RP. They clean up again, and they take down Palos. Mid one's going to get burnt down, but does he survive through this? He doesn't. Aegis has been popped. They can go for a little bit more if they want to, but the clinks, it looks like he wants to sit the right click, so it's going to be a really nice Winter's Curse, but it's not going to be enough because it's going to be onto Moon. He's a really big tanky boy. The onslaught between 2 of them now as well. Trample, trying to take down CDR. CDR will fall. Moon, what can they do? The Fiend's Grip's going to be used. It's going to be the Earth Spirit missing the Rolling Boulder here as Tino, he wants to carry on going. He's got that Pulverized, but they're going to be able to get the kill here. Paulson onto Abeng, and now it's going to be Tino up against 2. Do they have the control? Was that Nightmare? It's not going to be there. So the Pulverized comes out, but he's going to be forced back. The Spear, it stops the Trample. It keeps Moon alive, and now the Nightmare. SMG, they can retreat if they want to. Moon with the TP away. Paulson just going to walk himself out. No TP there for him, but he does have the Pig Pole if he wants to go a wee bit faster.
A small mistake happened by Shanks just now. When they got the Winter's Curse off on Moon, he actually rolled into CDR, stunning him. And that was the only person who could actually damage Moon. So the guy who's next to the Winter's Curse target doesn't do anything. Pelosin might be losing his life here. BKB is actually used by Pals. That's the first BKB usage as to secure the kill on Bane. I guess that's okay. I mean, that is the Bane dieback, but you're not gonna be You're not gonna be able to take advantage of the long death timer because I don't think they're gonna be fighting again. Interesting move just now.
Yeah, look at this as well. RP up in 27 seconds. Arena's back up now as well. Clinks, we've not really spoke about his items. He did get the Skadi going back towards the BKB after the Maelstrom, the Dragonlance. So he's putting out so much damage here now as well. And they can just group up. I think the Mortimer Kisses are up as well. Yeah, so if they can find a good lockdown into the arena for that, you don't even need the RP to put those out.
And by the way, Clink's level 20, whereas you look at Palos, he's still level 18, so he doesn't have that level 20 talent. And that makes a big deal. Like, CDR is getting that Burning Barrage +3 attacks. Oh.
Mid one, he waits in the middle of all of them. Was he going to be blinking back to? He does get caught in the onslaught that the Pulverize comes out. There's Urena Bob. He has to pop that BKB. CDR going to be taking a lot of damage. Mid one, does he want to be coming in? He's going to be that blink, but it's on cooldown. And CDR sitting in the middle of 4 heroes taking so much. But the RP, again, it catches onto 3 of them. The Mortimer kisses start to fly. The Fiend's Grip's going to be there as well. They get the lockdown. Tino's out of mana.
Dies.
He has to run himself away. Palos on the backlines now as well. Mid one's going to be able to get himself in. The skewer into the lockdown from Mars and that spear. And they just clean up again. They lose the clinks, but they take down so much more.
Yeah, this is what's happening, right? It's like Execration, they can fight, but SMG, they just have this insane team fight where it's like, oh, well, we can't really take them out. And they're doing a good job of not focusing Tino down. They look at him, they're like, he's got BKB, he's got Vanguard, he's got Dragon Scales, he's got 3,000 health. Yep. You know what we should do, guys? Let's just leave him alone. What's he really gonna do to us? Like, he's not that bad. We kill, I don't know, the Winter Wyvern who's got less than half his health. We kill the TA before she BKBs or something. And just bring these people down. They can do nothing against them.
Yeah, and Primal Beast, like you say, you ignore him. He's got him 600 mana. So he can throw his full spell thing, what, 3 times? And after that, it's like, okay, so that's going to be in the very early parts of the fights, and how long these fights are dragging on for. He just comes back as a right-click. Okay, he's going to have that uproar to come out. But yeah, like you say, he gets controlled by the Paulson when his BKB comes up by the Fiend's Grip. He gets locked down by an Arena if he doesn't use the BKB into the Spear. And they just ignore him then. They keep him locked down for a little bit of time, and then, like I say, just delete the rest of the team of Execration.
So I mean, they've been doing that a really good job, right? Like, Tino's always the last person to either die or he just lives. They just don't kill him. They're like, we'll just kill everyone else, and it makes sense. I mean, his damage is not obscenely high that it's like, oh my god, we have to kill him. Nor is he like disruptive enough. He onslaughts in, he does the pulverize, and after that is just some decent but not life-threatening damage, and on a guy with high health. In the meantime, SMG, looks like they're grouping up. They might consider the smoke here.
Well, all the ultimates are back up, apart from the Clinks, who's just used his 40-second cooldown on that. But again, if they get another good jump, Moon might be the bait. But if they get another good jump, it's going to be scouted. The Clinks, he sees 2 of them, he pings it out now as well. The Burning Barrage comes out. Tino, he pops up BKB early. There's going to be the silence onto the Clinks. The Clinks doesn't have that BKB that he wants to use just yet. Wants to be holding on to it. The Arena
Shanks
comes through
wrong.
onto Shanks. So Shanks, he can't control this fight. Oh, Ultimate Kiss is going to fly through here onto Shanks as well. That Cold Embrace, it's not going to keep him alive. And CDR, does he want to hunt for more? They still have the RP. They still have the Fiend's Grip. They can carry on going here. Okay, Shanks is down. 39 seconds, no buyback. But if they can catch a good RP, the Burning Barrage comes back up. They could clean up a couple more heroes here. SMG. But maybe just trying to fight and posture around the Roche Pit.
I like what Moon does in that fight. He sees Shanks, realizes he's like, oh, he doesn't have a BKB, instantly throws up the Arena, goes for the kill. So really, like, shuts down Execration's team. It's not team fight, sorry, aggression right then and there. Like, we don't have our position 4, we can't really do anything. Very fast Roshan, by the way, about 20 seconds. It's gonna be up in 10 now. So SMG, if they scout this out, it could be a really big boon for them. They have the gem on Moon, so they already took away the traps coming out from Execration. So they won't know, they won't be wise to this. And they ping it out. Oh, Pelosi walks in just as it respawns. How Gabeman smiles upon thee, sometimes like, yeah, well, you've been a good boy, Pelosi. Here's an early Christmas gift for you. CDR, just gonna go straight for it.
Yeah, CDR in the pit, and again, Tino is down in this bottom lane. So if you want to react, he does have a TP, but he'd have to come into the tier 2. And you can see them grouping up here, but they're grouping up on the wrong side of the map. Execration, they might go for a smoke. But while this is going on, Roche, it's almost done.
By the way, we almost have Refresher Orb on mid 1. So double RP is going to be coming out very soon. He gets a free shard. He's going to get the Refresher Orb in less than 100 gold. Execution, they smoke up. This is kind of desperate, though.
Yeah, right after Roche has been taken, you can see they just backed themselves away from Team SMG, maybe looking for a pick-off. Moon will show. But with the rest of the Team SMG missing, what can you actually really risk for this? In fact,
it got calls.
The horn toss into the skewer. Pylos has to pop that BKB. He's still going to be dragged back. All the damage coming through. Scatterblast into that little shredder. It does so much damage. And now the pulverize into the onslaught pulverize. It's not going to be enough. And Paulson, he still survives through this. They might even go for more of this as well because Tino, his BKBs were enough. Whereas that spear, anything to keep him locked down. The arena into the spear now is on Primal Beast. He's going to be taken care of. But the Winter's Curse, they take down Paulson, but it's still going to be Tino that falls. And now all that does is it puts Abeng in danger, even through the cold embrace, the damage of burning spear. Well, he's pushed away from that, but it's still going to be enough.
Afu, by the way, love the talent that he took at level 15. The 2 shredder attacks. Usually people max out take the fire snap, but with 2 extra little shredder attacks, you can just go through the refraction charges really fast just by yourself. I mean, and it adds up. Meanwhile, it was a good ultimate by Abeng, but it's not enough. And execution feels like the same problem they had in game 1. You know, they had momentum early in the early game, they did decently, and then suddenly, you know, a couple of bad BKB usages, and the game just goes all the way to SMG side. There's always better team fight on SMG's draft, and it's showing itself here. Big One now has got 2 RPs. You thought 1 RP was tough. Imagine it, the second one as well. Not sure if he has enough mana for it, actually, though. He's got... Well, no, he has barely enough. Barely enough. This is very tough to get that mana, though.
Yeah, if he uses... What's that? 700, so that's going to be 1,000. So if he uses literally nothing else, he can skewer. He can skewer, that's fine.
It's like, you're allowed 1 skewer, you know? Maybe if he has like a bunch of wand charges as well, that'll help.
Yeah.
He has Aether Lens. I imagine he's going to go for maybe Octarine Core. You know, just get a little bit more mana as well. And the cooldown's pretty nice. Meanwhile, though, Execution going for that smoke again. It just feels like they've been playing this whole game very awkwardly. Smoke breaks, gonna take a fight now.
Yeah, they're gonna be able to get the drag back here. Abeng up to the high ground. He's trying to use that cold embrace, but the Fiend's Rip comes out, so all those heals are gonna be negated. Mid one, he's just waiting around. He uses the RP, he catches out onto 2, 3 of them again, and it's gonna be onto Tino. It's gonna be onto Palos, and it's gonna be the death of Palos. Gonna be the death of Tino, and now they can go even further if they want to. Death Prophet drag back with the skewer. They get the kill. Mega kill streak there for the Clinks. And again, only the Earth Spirit survives because he got the rolling boulder out. Picks up a couple of bounty runes, but I don't know how useful they're going to be because SMG, they want to go straight for the tier 4s.
Yeah, they're like, let's just end this game. They want to force out buybacks. There's 3 of them available. Mid one, he hasn't used the refresher orb, but he can if he wants to just to get that RP back up. And yeah, his brain is so big, as Bob says. SMG, they're like, well, what are you guys really going to do to us? Like, are you guys going to buy back? And look at that little shredder really helping with them bring down the tower. Alright, buyback comes out from DP. They still have Abeng coming out in a few seconds. Mid one rolls in. Oh, TA buys back as well.
Yeah, but like you say, there is still that refresh into the RP if they want to use it. Shanks takes so much damage. The Winter's Curse as well. CDR, he just turns onto Bob. Look at the right-click damage out coming out onto Bob, and this is going to be through BKB. Abeng just gets deleted, and they can go even further if they want to. Moon, rolling bowler, so they might be able to take down the Mars. That's going to be the gem on the deck, and it looks like maybe Execration hold the tier 4s for now, as they do get the kill onto the Magnus as well.
Good smoke to keep Shanks alive. They do lose Moon as well as mid one, so their big burly cores are out. And looks like CDR might be losing his life fairly soon as well. Very low HP, but they do kill Palos instead. So SMG still fighting really well for themselves. Afu cookies away, and my god, CDR kills Abeng as well. That's a 2 diebacks. Afu, he's baiting. He's like, come on, chase me. But that's a triple kill for CDR. He's just gonna go and hit the throne. What are you really gonna do? Shanks versus the world? And it's like, nah. Shanks like, I'll tap out. GG, and it's gonna be SMG taking the series 2-0.
And CDR hung around though. You know, he was man moding because he had the Aegis. She was like, yeah, okay, strike me down. I come back more powerful than you can possibly imagine. You know, he would have been able to reset, and again, got the kill onto Palos. And he was just saying, everybody come at me. Pop this Aegis. I want you to come at me. And yeah, nobody was able to take him down even the once.
He's had a really good series, this Palos. Like, game 1 was, what, 18-1 on the Morphley or something like that? Sorry, no, just Morphley. But he just comes, look at this, 25-13 on the Clinks. Absolutely insane performance. And he was all their damage. Like, they really had to put their eggs in the CDR basket, and he delivered. Execration, it's, I don't know, man. This feels like there's something a bit odd going on with their draft. They really rely on this Bob Death Prophet, but not able to make it work. So a little unfortunate for them. They still have I believe one match left to go, but SMG looking strong. Looking like they're definitely one of the teams making the upper bracket, along with Fnatic.
Yeah, And that is going to be it for this series, but we do have one final series to come. It's going to be TNT Predator versus Hokori. So we're going to be taking a quick 15-minute break, and then we'll get ourselves into the third and final 2-game series of the day. So stick around, guys, because, I mean, every game so far has been a cracker, and I wouldn't be surprised. TNT Predator is two great teams that are ready to put on a good show. So again, in about 15 minutes, we'll be back with that series. We'll see you then.
See ya.
But this should also hint maybe slightly at what he wants to lane with, because of course, you don't really pick Coddle unprovoked in current meta, and again, not a hero that has any lockdown, which is, again, a little bit of a concern right now for Dogchamp. But Ravens, exact opposite side, they say, we want damage. They've got damage, and damage it is, and they pick up the Void Spirit, a combo and a counter that we haven't really seen get picked up too many times versus the Invoker, but of course, in lane, can't really do anything. You just always assimilate to dodge the EMP, so the Cross-Wex build doesn't really end up slowing him down all too much. And then once you get Ags, another hero that just gives you somebody to play with. Like it a lot.
The exact kind of hero that Nyengo Flow is going to be able to just be so incredibly active and aggressive on, which is the style that really seems to suit him best at this point. So we'll see if Dogchamp can really do anything to try and deal with that, because the support duo looks kind of locked in already. Okay. Monkey King pick coming out for the Dogchamp side. Not a bad selection here, but still do have some concerns for Dogchamp in terms of the lockdown, because Bound the Strike is nice, but it's pretty tough on the cooldown, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I know, I think something's up here. This is not good enough of a Monkey King game to warrant this. And of course, versus Beastmaster, you've got the Hawks, you've got the tree cutting potential, you've got the boars in lane that eventually just force you out. I don't want to say that we need to see a role swap already, and Stonebank has played Monkey King for, before, but yeah, even Ravens, yeah, something is up here. Somebody is playing a hero that they shouldn't be, and it's Italiano Gangster's hero. This almost makes me think that now this is going to be a Yarn Monkey King or something, or maybe even just a Yarn Snapfire and then an offlane Monkey King, because yeah, something does not feel right, and Ravens feel it too.
If they're moving Yarn to the Monkey, I think you hit it with the second one. It's got to be the Snap that then shifts to the core, because you can't move Keeper of the Light mid. You've already got an Invoker, and I don't even really know what Cuddle 3 looks like. May not even really be possible, so if Dogchamp are doing something, it's going to look a little bit weird. But as you say, Ravens not willing to get caught by surprise at this stage. So the Alk ban looking pretty good. At this point, though, well, I don't know. What else are you really afraid of if they are, in fact, going for another Stonebank hero here?
No, and that's what I'm trying to really cram my head full of it. Of course, they also, if that is the case, both these teams need carries. It's why we got both carry bans, but that's where Ravens, it's very fortunate they've got the reserve time to really think about their options here, because yeah, Dogchamp, something feels strange. Something is up, and if it is an Italiano Gangster hero they're playing or looking for in the final phase here, I don't know, they could just look for, I suppose, a Mars, but again, it's where I think they do need more lockdown. I don't like how little Dogchamp has already. So if they are looking for any hero, I think a Playmaker would do them a lot. I think that's why that Alk ban is quite smart. Just a hero that buys Radiance, Blink Dagger, and then has something to give the rest of your lineup. And they do split the bans here with the Batrider as well, just in case there is that chance that they go for it. But I don't know. I again, am kind of cramming my brain here, thinking of what team fight oriented, hopefully having a stunned hero they want to pick up here. And then they ban TA. Okay, sure. And the question here is for Dad. Well, the last time we saw Ravens, they just immediately picked up the Nature's Prophet or the Drow for him, and both are still options. We could see them go in that direction, and I'll take a peek. And no, they take the Luna, and I like the Luna a lot because that is that same type of carry that I think Dogchamp would have wanted to take as well. And now Dogchamp, 20 seconds to kind of tell us what's going on here, what's up, because this was a little bit strange, and hopefully it'll just be a plain and simple, and it'll all make sense in a sec here, but I don't know, something still feels wrong.
At the end of the day, there is still the possibility that they just draft an offlaner at this point, but they've got to make a choice. Okay, it's going to be the Tide, so it looks like it will be that position 1 Monkey King, and I mean, the spidey senses were tingling, right, ET? It just felt like something was up, but Dogchamp decide a change like that is potentially going to hurt you more than it helps you at the end of the day, and I don't know, if you're Italiano Gangster, you're a very tanky hero now, you've got some lockdown finally added to this lineup, it's just on, you know, one of the longest cooldowns in the game, but at least you have it.
Yeah, no, yeah, I don't know, and maybe everybody, myself included, are just overthinking the pick, but it just comes back to this Monkey King pick just not feeling that impactful, I think, as just your answer to Benjaz's Beastmaster, and we'll have to see. Maybe Stonebank just absolutely warps him, you know? Maybe the Snapfire lane's too much, but a part of me also thinks that Benjaz is going to be fine. Dismar's going to be annoying on the Skywrath Mage, and Stonebank is locked onto a carry that might not be able to do very much, and that's also where being forced into picking Tidehunter versus Luna is one of the better carries versus Tidehunter, because you just have magic damage. You just have not that much magic damage, but enough to threaten him. And that's where I think there might be some problems here. Not to mention, you didn't really get a combo with the Keeper of the Light either. It's, you know, what's going to come out? You're going to gush spam? You're going to spit on him? It just doesn't feel like there's that same level of cohesiveness, even though I do like that they picked up another big lockdown hero, which is, again, something that they were severely lacking until this point. But I just hope that they can make enough plays and stick it out in some of these lanes here, because a part of me does just really like what Ravens have.
Yeah, and at this point, based on what we've seen from them previously, it's kind of hard not to just like anything that Ravens put together. They've just been playing so well and so cohesively as a unit. You kind of give them the benefit of the doubt in a lot of circumstances, although with this lineup, they don't need the benefit of the doubt. They have drafted themselves into a strong position, and it feels like it's on Dogchamp to really be the ones to make up the difference.
No, it definitely will be up to them. I think that's where they've got a few things going for them. And of course, RCY Invoker is something to look out for. He's really been owning it up with every hero that he's been playing in the tournament so far. But yeah, some ward-on-ward action there. I think with the way he placed it, they know that they walked up to this tree line, but I don't know if they actually saw him put it down on the map. But we'll see. And if the D-ward does come out, well, RCY is already primed to make that deny happen.
Kind of funny that he immediately started setting up for that too. The second he put it down, he's like, you know what? Let me just make sure, just in case. So we'll see if anything comes of that. May not, but in the meantime, no one really looking to get too aggressive just yet. So we have been seeing a couple of fights over these runes in the early stages in today's games, ET. Not sure if we're going to get anything here, although with the way... Now, with the way Niengo Flow was sort of posturing, I thought maybe they were going to give it a go, but they do back off of it. That means Dogchamp get 3 of the 4 to start the lanes.
You know, quite a nice start. Now, well, let's see what actually happens here, because this is yet again another strength offlaner that is going to have to deal with the Undying, and Kara got the mangs. He knows what he's up for in this lane. Does need to be maybe slightly cautious about Yarn, and of course hitting the double illuminates. It's the only way you can really win a lot of these trades, but again, we'll see. It is difficult to actually shut anybody out of this lane, and of course, when they can just do that to secure the range creep, it will be hard to fight for denies, but that's where Kara will be very obnoxious and will just run that kind of counter where he just runs around, just trying to hit you, just being annoying.
Italiano Gangster already losing a lot of his HP, but he came to lane knowing there were going to be some early brawls here. 2 stacks of tangos to work with, so don't know if they're really going to be able to push him back too much, but Kara doesn't have anything else to do, so he's just going to keep on going. 2-man decay, pretty damn useful, and yeah. Italiano Gangster's focused on you and not focused on last hits. You have done your job.
No, definitely good at running the interference.
Time. Swing things over to the other lane. Another sort of interesting matchup to look at. We'll see just how aggressively Benjaz and Dismar play here, and I mean, in the past, ET, I mean, Dismar does not like to be passive. He's a position 4 hero. That's kind of the way that they all like to work, but he wants to be right in the middle of it. Part of the reason why teams have to respect things like his Doom pick, because he will get right up in your face. But right now, Benjez is the one who is sort of copping that early damage. But you have to assume once the levels get up here, this duo for Ravens are going to try and turn.
No, that was very nice play, just on the level 2, of course. It's early power spikes, we always talk about it, but then, of course, the concussive shot comes through. It was very well played by Stonebank, just knowing the A-clicks in between, but that's where, oh my goodness, Italiano. So low.
Just a sliver. Oh, does he have... No, he already used his salve too, actually. I thought he was just going to reset, but he had already done so. This lane's going to get a little bit rough for him.
Oh, and at least he's got the flag bearer, but yeah, no, it's not ideal, and that's boots delivered, so Dodd can, of course, make those trades even better for himself, but I feel like now, though, probably should see everybody just simmer down, see these lanes just end up into the farm fest that we see a lot of Ravens lanes come into, because they're a team that, even though we haven't seen them in a good little bit here, what they like to do is just farm. They like to pause the map, they like just getting those big items, play for 35-minute timings, and then just kind of win off of virtue of using the map better than their opponents. It's how they've won the majority of their games in the BTS Pro Series.
Taking a look at Benjez here, kind of interesting as he hits level 2, opting for the first point in the Inner Beast, so not even really looking for the axes. He is just really kind of here for a little bit of last hitting, and I guess there are some circumstances where wild axes could net you, maybe the ranged creep, but at the same time having the attack speed is going to just help him control the lane a little bit better.
Yeah, it's a lot of trust as well over to Dismar, because now he is entirely on range creep duty. If any of them are getting denied, it's because B9 is just giving the vision and tanking the concussive shot instead. But no, these draws are coming through, and the one unfortunate thing for Dogchamp is you do not want to be drawing top. You want to be winning. You want your Monkey King getting Jingu stacks and being very obnoxious, and right now things are going a little bit too smoothly, I think, right now for Ravens, which is and should be a relatively weak lane, but there's not a lot's happening right now.
Meanwhile, over in the middle lane, Water Runes traded. Of course, RCY doesn't have a bottle here, so gets a little bit less of a benefit from that particular trade-off as, hold on, up top, Dismar in some trouble. Was able to fall back, and that's like the second, maybe third time where we've seen that exchange, but they're just not quite able to get the damage, and obviously not willing to go diving a tower to try and make it happen either.
No, can't really afford to do either. It's also where Snowbank doesn't want to just sit there and hit the boar, but oh yeah.
Boundless. Oh, the boar slow really helping out on that front. Stonebank can't close the gap, but this Monkey King's starting to get a lot less shy about throwing that out there. Boundless strike. Again, you know, on a bit of a long cooldown, but if it helps him get back some sort of control in this lane, he's going to be okay tossing it out there.
Yeah, and with how close these lanes are, it's where you do think about your mid lane, think about that level 6 timing on the Void Spirit, where you just get your levels and then immediately just start running around the map, where that is going to be your turning point. It's where, as well for RCY, he has to run around and basically chase the Void Spirit, otherwise Nengoflo will have a very free time. Not to mention, RCY is also going to want to get aggressive, but no Earn Rush for him. He's actually, I think, looking for treads, which is a little bit different for Boss Flex Invokers. Just not the same build-up. Could also just look for the early Witchblade, but it's definitely different.
Yeah, not quite what we're used to seeing, so I guess we'll wait and see. I mean, the Earn doesn't really do him much good in terms of farming, so maybe that's the sort of more macro-oriented play. Meantime, support coming up here to try and fight for the rune, but Yaren did kind of see the Void Spirit coming, so he just backs off, and Dismar on the other side takes the DD rune just because his teammate was nowhere near it.
Yeah, just guesses wrong. Unfortunate, because Nengoflo would have been able to make really any play happen with the DD, but will be forced to wait instead. And actually, the DD is pretty nice. Would actually be pretty annoying, and okay, get Stonebank's courier for free. Yeah, that's what a DD will do.
Yeah, you know, it's not exactly what you're thinking when you grab a double damage rune. You're not sitting there thinking, oh man, now I can one-shot couriers, but I mean, it's something. You get money, right? That's got to be the play from Dismar's perspective. And now over on the other side, Kara is going to be just fine. Still not a lot of aggressive potential out from this off-lane duo.
No, you're still stuck being pretty passive. A lot of stick charges as well, while Yarn has gotten onto that stack train, and we'll make sure that those stacks are there for his Tidehunter to farm up and get a little bit of a lead. I feel like that's where we'll have to see what comes out from Italiano if he decides to stop his Blink Dagger Rush and look for a Vlad's, and then probably make it into a Wraith Pact, and then we'll get to see some Wraith Pact on Wraith Pact action.
Very
Flow,
aggressive.
though.
Wow.
Yeah, free kill.
Straight onto the tower. To be honest, I think it's probably a good thing Yarn wasn't there, because not only do I think he wouldn't have helped, he probably would have been picked off himself, but Kara says, hey, guess we know what Yarn was doing. We're going to try and steal the stack. Yarn tries to defend it, but that just means he gets jumped in on. Can they actually finish him, though? They're missing a bit of damage, and they're not actually able to finish this, so... Okay. He walks away, but now, yeah, everybody's getting over here. If the stack's being taken, they need to try and either defend it or just grab it as quick as they can. As Kara getting himself jumped in on. Italiano Gangster will find the kill, and overall, you know, that isn't too bad if you're dog champ. You do lose a decent bit of that stack, but you killed Kara. I believe B9 was able to finish off the tombstone, so you got a little bit of gold off of that too, and it's just a bummer that the Tidehunter didn't get the full stack like he wanted.
Yeah. But you still have the Ancient Camp to think about, I suppose. But okay. Yarn getting greedy. Yeah, just dies to a single Resonant Pulse and Astral Step. And then, because Kara died, refills his mid bottle. Very nice, standard stuff coming in here. But I do want to see whenever RCY decides to get active. And looks like he will just decide to go for the Witchblade this game. So no Midas Rush, no Urn into Vessel, as we talked about earlier. Even though you are versus an Undying, just being a little bit more selfish with his damage, perhaps. But I do want to see him get aggressive, or at least try to counter out Nengo Flow's next rotation, because the Void Spirit is the one tipping the scales right now.
Yeah, and without the Urn, you might be missing a little bit more in terms of your ganking potential, but that doesn't mean that you can afford to just ignore doing that entirely. So we'll see where he looks to go and when he looks to make his move, because right now, just kind of sticking it to the middle lane. While that's happening, look at Ravens. Moving into this north side jungle. If Stonebank gets caught, this is not going to be good. And there's the jump in. Already at about 2/3 of his HP maybe off of the camp, and they just clean him up.
Yeah, and that's where high ground vision, Hawks, it's where the Monkey King does not feel nice versus Beastmaster, at least once this mid game gets started here. But it's also where Stonebank is just looking for a Midas. Because that's gonna be his choice. But with the Helm of the Dominator completed, didn't even have to use the Roar there, so his top tower will die. And okay, a little bit of a smoke here, but a smoke pre-10 minutes, you don't have those Mortimer Kisses. It's where I wonder if they're overloading just a little bit here, but they're trying to connect onto Dodd, and with the way it broke, is gonna connect.
It's gonna be the cookie stun too, but that's the full combo. They need more. Dodd's just kind of holding his ground. The Gush does come in, though, but look at this TP. No, the TP doesn't come in. Ooh, I don't know. It's level 1 Soul Rip. Maybe it wouldn't have been enough anyway, but without the attempt, Dodd does go down. They had to throw Ravage in there on the back end of that fight, so that is a little bit of a bummer, but you found the kill, but Yarn needs to put out a restraining order on Yengo Flow at this point. Every time the Void Spirit sees him, he just jumps straight in for it.
Yeah, and got a little bit of revenge there. I think very nice rotation in from Italiano. Without him, if he was just anchoring down, stuck in the lane, then that could have been a little bit scary. But now, knowing that there isn't a Ravage, even if the Tidehunter TP's mid, look at them, they're poised. And again, Yarn just TP's in, and there's no Ravage, so still need to stick on him a little bit more, but goes down, and Italiano, what are you doing here?
They did throw the Roar out at the end just to make sure he stays in it, but it gets them the kill, and that is the question, ET. You asked it. What are you doing here? They know you don't have Ravage. The Tide wants to be that guy to just stand in front of the tier 1. We always talk about that when he's picked, but part of the reason you can do that is because you have Ravage, and he very clearly didn't.
Yeah, and as well with his build, just greeting out for the Vlads, which will give them maybe some Roche potential, maybe something to play around as
RCY.
they still are mid. Oh.
Gonna pull him back in. Do they have the damage to finish him off, though? Silence is in there. Okay, Centaur Stomp just makes that all too easy, and B9's gonna fall here as well. Maybe not. That's a big boundless strike. Stonebank's able to save his teammate. It's just the support, not the core, that he saves.
He gets to walk away, and Benjas might just look to TP out here. Should probably look to TP out, and okay, he's just gonna say, no, I'm dead.
Well, Dogchamp do get somebody at the end of the day, so they don't walk away completely empty-handed, but they got pushed back so far, gave up 3 kills in total around those towers, and it's just a rough call for them to make. And Yarn, yeah, don't fall into that same trap for the 4th straight time. You do not want to be in the river alone when Yengo flows nearby.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how they decide to get aggressive now, because, of course, every single Ravage, that is how it's going to play out. They're going to immediately run to your side of the map. They're going to try to get onto buildings. It's where Italiano really needs to get everything whenever this Ravage is decided and is actually committed. But we'll see now, because we're farming. We're getting a lot of these little items finished up here. Dodd is, of course, taking a little bit of a lead. He is naturally going to farm just a little bit faster than the Monkey King, even though Stonebank was able to finish off that Midas. But we'll also have to see if this Beastmaster is able to get back into his home, get back into the groove of things, or if the Tide Hunter is just going to body him everywhere. Because I think, again, we're going to have a pretty slow-paced game here. But right now, Ravens are controlling the Dire Ancients. They've got a great ward. They got Nengoflo with an Arcane Rune as well, looking to find a Monkey King, making that same mistake. But also, Nengoflo just immediately rushing for the Aghanim Scepter. He is not playing. And top,
B9's gotten himself into a bit of a rough spot here. He's trying to wait for reinforcements to arrive, and they do get in. As Dismar's going to get hit up. Meanwhile, the Roar from Benja is actually connected onto Yaren. Not really allowing them to go for the kill as Yengo Flow. He wants B9. He's not going to get it, though, and he has to back away.
Yeah, nice heal from Yaren.
What's going on here,
just made
though,
it work,
RCY?
Yeah.
Well, a price still has to be paid at the end of the day. Unfortunately, that's a price that sucks for Dogchamp, because the kill that you got was onto Dismar, who is not worth as much money as an Invoker.
No, definitely not. As well as maintaining this river control, they're going to scout out a DD now, so Nendo Flow assuredly is going to have enough damage, and with your Invoker going down, and Luna retreats to her side, and then farm is still being made, and there's a huge Ancient stack as well for Dad to rotate into his triangle once he feels like he can take it, and he could probably take it right now, but there's also so much farm getting shoved into his face that why not? There's just more money everywhere. Somebody's got to utilize those Ancients eventually, though, so we'll probably see that from him, but Stonebank, same place, same timing. Another smoke during the daytime, and they will break here, but sits on a tree, and oh, saw them, and yeah, actually connects with his teammate's smoke, but dodge that out. Very nice.
Can't afford to get taken down too many times here, as Ravens do now back themselves away, and looks like Dodd is sort of angling over towards that stack. Just finished off his Manta. BKB queued up next, and if he can take this entire stack, it is going to really give him some progress towards that item pickup. But while that's happening, Yard is dangerously close to the enemy. I think he scouted this out a little bit, though, so this play is initially onto Italiano, but he's got Ravage. She could turn. There's going to be the Ravage deployed into the Cookie Stun. And Yengo Flow does get taken out. Dismar was able to kill Yarn, but that's not the trade that Ravens wanted. And now with the kisses coming in, Kara may die too. Gush coming in. Sunstrike. Didn't really hit there, but they'll still find the kill.
No, barely off the mark, and I think, of course, they're just walking underneath this high ground ward placed by Dogchamp, so the team fight is already kind of shattered at that point, but also, I don't know, the Luna just was not able to connect with the Tombstone, so there's no real threat of that Eclipse coming through, or at least not with the Luna dying beforehand, so yeah, spread themselves out pretty thin and then get punished for it, but that's also where Nengo Flow is still looking for his Aghanim Scepter, so the Void Spirit will be able to make maybe a more conceded effort the next time around, but a Wraith Pact finished up from Italiano, an item that, as we always say, is a game changer. Just reduces so much damage in these team fights as well, and probably makes it so that way Nengo Flow doesn't have enough damage to at least burst your supports, so very nice from him.
Big pickup, gives him that sort of tanky anchor kind of play in the middle of these fights that Dogchamp really do kind of need, because they've got damage. They just need someone to sort of stand around and use as protection. So, well, see what they do moving forward. They're still a minute out from having Ravage back up, but be able to make something happen. In the meantime, well, we just kind of keep having these spikes in activity, right? But outside of those spikes, everybody goes back to farming. Us looking for these items. Benjaz, is he done with the Dom? Or the Overlord, excuse me. Yes, he is, so that's bringing out to him right now. Got some boots, too, just so that he's not walking around at the slowest possible move speed the whole time. But Kara, well, Kara kind of wanders a little bit too far forward here.
Yeah, same ward, and he will actually lose his ward as well. Just try to, I think, do a little bit too much in the nighttime, so you get punished. You die, you feed a tombstone, you feed an observer that nobody's hitting yet, and there you go, RCY. We'll take it out, but that's where I think we've got a pretty interesting team fight ahead of us here. Nangoflo is probably going to sell his Clawing Blade, or sells something to try and get this point booster just a little bit faster, but now, with Helm of the Overlord completed, with Wraith Pact completed, I think Ravens are the ones to probably look to force their opponents into this Roche fight, but this is also something that they've done, again, in a lot of their games. They wait for Dodd to have a BKB, they wait to have one of these creep items, and then they force the issue where they drag Dogchamp off of their side of the map to come and contest them on the low ground. But we'll see if that plays out here. It's good sentry coverage, so they're going to see the Hawk coming through, and the smoke is completely scouted with the Ags.
Well, they're going on to RCY as fast as they can. They get the double silence in onto him, but not able to actually finish him off just yet. And there's going to be the Ravage deployed. Yengo does get hit. Benjaz caught by it as well, but where's the follow-up? No one else is here. And Yengo is just going to be able to dissimulate his way out of a lot of this. Yeah. That's not great if you're Dogchamp. Sure, you survive the initiation. You avoid the smoke gank, but that's your Ravage down. And he actually used the Wraith Pact here as well, so two massive tools for this fight that have now been used.
Yeah, and with that, I think immediately they're still trying to greed out and wait for the Luna to have BKB so they have absolute confidence, and you'll probably need the BKB to just make sure you don't get the tornado underneath you and then zoink away the Aegis, but no, they say, let's go, force it. They've got the additional damage from Lunar Blessing as well for the rest of the lineup, so this is dying real quick, and you are stuck in this position. B9's looking for a play, but I don't know if this is really going to happen. There's the tornado as well, so Dodd can just sit on the Aegis now. He can just go for it.
Well, Taliano tried to get the Wraith Pact in there. It is technically going to hit at this point, but now the fight is breaking out. Italiano Gangster is in some trouble. B9 dropping low as well. They're going to be able to finish off the snap first. Kara may go down here as well, but there's going to be the Eclipse into the pit. Italiano Gangster will fall. And the Luna grabs the Aegis. Now there's a problem. Dogchamp went pretty damn close to the pit. Now they need to somehow find a way to get away from it. Not really sure if it's going to work out for them. There's going to be the silence into the slow, into the Remnant. Yengo Flow picks up the kill. B9 bought back. Okay. That's unfortunate.
Oh, they're just feeling desperate, but then they use pretty much everything. They cannot close the gap on the tomb. And, you know, some people might say, oh, well, why isn't Stonebank there? There's a Hawk, there's Tombstone down, you get your tree cut, the game's over. I don't think there's any chance he channels the Wukong's command in that situation. So you don't have a carry for the most important Roshan fight, and you don't have a whole bunch of your ultimates. So Ravens, they just find their moment, and it just looks great from them. Question is, what do they do now? It looks like, really, in the immediate future, they're just going to look for this tier 2 top, and a hell of a push they've got. Luna plus Beastmaster. This is not very fun, and Italiano Gangster trying to run some interference. He's already up here on the wave, but I don't know, I think this tower's just going to get beat up.
Yeah, he'll do his best, but by himself, I'm not sure there's too much he can do, but he's not going to be by himself for long. B9's here. Garan just